If that were me who slipped, I'd sue old man Krabs for all he's got.
Oh, the pain!
Mr. Krabs and Plankton have been beefing for years. Like, these dudes have a long history of beef, stemming all the way back to the first season of SpongeBob. And you know, I can't really blame Plankton. Like, Mr. Krabs is kind of mean to him. Plankton just wants to be successful as well. But we ain't here for character analysis. We're here to break down some goofy mistakes. So let's do that. Here's the first one.
I'll drop the charges if you give me the formula. Never, you little whelp!
Okay, so this character right here is Fred. He's the dude who always yells, "My leg!" And throughout this whole episode, Mr. Krabs versus Plankton, he's brown, all right? We can see him right here, he's brown. We can fast forward a little bit to a later scene, he's brown again. And here's even one more shot where we can see Fred is brown, okay? But if we pay close attention when Mr. Krabs yells, "Never, you little runt." Jeez, Mr. Krabs, chill, dude. Look, Fred is randomly blue, and he has the same eye scale as Tom. The real issue here, though, is the color. The dude was brown in like every other scene. I highly doubt he went and got like fish plastic surgery and turned himself blue. What most likely happened is the animators drew him as brown and colored him as brown, and then for this one scene they kind of messed up and forgot and drew him as blue. I'll forgive them, but still totally a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode.
Never, you little whelp! Ow, ow, my little arm! What?
Speaking of the color blue, this is a big part of this next mistake as well, as when Plankton first enters the courtroom in the clips you guys just saw, we can see that this fish right here on the right of the door is blue. Remember this, alright? He's blue, just like Fred in that last scene. Here's the problem though, as the episode progresses, this changes, as look, when we see the jury again in this scene, that exact same fish is randomly orange now. Here's like a side-by-side, he was blue before, now he's orange. But hey, don't worry, when we see the jury for the third time, look, she's blue again. So he or she, they're blue again. What a messy scene. Like, all the mistakes in this episode are all coloring based, which is really funny.
I gotcha now. Hi-ya! Well, I guess the coast is clear.
We're gonna go back to the beginning for this one. We're gonna go back to season 1. The episode is Karate Choppers, and this episode's interesting. Pretty much SpongeBob becomes like addicted to karate to the point where it has like an effect on his jaw. My dude is obsessed, but guys, I'm also obsessed with exposing SpongeBob mistakes. I mean, I'm like a total nerd. So yeah, here's the first mistake from Karate Choppers. Roll that footage.
That'll be the day.
Now, if we look at the arms of the suit that Sandy wears right here, we'll notice that there's these lines on it, all right? There's a red one, a blue one, and another red one. 3 lines in total. This is how her design always looks, even back in like season 1. But in this one season 1 episode, Karate Choppers, when Sandy is at SpongeBob's door in this scene right here, look, she randomly has this extra stripe on her sleeve. To make things even worse though, if we watch closely, the colors of these stripes also just change rapidly. Like, I'm showing it in slow motion, and yeah, I'm kind of nitpicking, but still technically a mistake. This next mistake from Karate Choppers is much, much worse though. Roll the footage.
Yeah.
Nice try, Sponge Brain.
Okay, so like I said, mistake number 2 is much worse than that last one. And it takes place when Sandy hangs up on SpongeBob after his attempt at phone karate. Interesting, SpongeBob. It happens really quickly, but look, SpongeBob's arm disappears. Like, this dude loses his whole arm, and I don't think that's very healthy, SpongeBob. You can definitely blame the animators for that one though, buddy. They did you dirty. But guys, we got another mistake from this episode, 3 in one episode, damn. Let's see if you guys can spot this one before I expose it. Try to comment the mistake before I reveal it. Got it? All right, let's go. Roll that footage. This third one is insanely easy to miss, but a common thing in SpongeBob are these bubble transitions. Here's an example. They happen all the time to change scenes. And in this episode, when we transition over to this shot of the Krusty Krab with people entering it, some of the bubbles from the transition just freeze mid-air and glitch out and stay on screen. They're right here, and you can even see the tops and sides getting cut off a little bit. So yeah, totally a mistake. Like, what? Stay tuned though, because this is just the beginning, guys. I'm saving some of the crazy crazy mistakes for last.
We have to surgically remove him from out in front of the candy machine so I can get to the Nutty Nut Bar. Of course. Nurse!
There are a ton of places that you can store your money, right? In a bank, in a piggy bank, your wallet, but Mr. Krabs over here, for some reason, decides to store his money, all of his money, in his mattress. And this is what the episode The Lost Mattress is all about, with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward getting rid of Mr. Krabs' mattress and just causing a bunch of problems. We're not here for all of that, though. Let's be real, we're here to expose some mistakes. So yeah, here's the first mistake from this episode. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
It's like trying to sleep on broken coral.
Poor Mr. Krabs.
Why do anything? I like the new Mr. Krab.
Okay, so this one's very, very sneaky, but when Mr. Krabs opens the Krusty Krab, if we look really closely, I'm zooming in, all right? If we look closely right here, there is a keyhole on the door handle. Now, the problem is that in the very next scene, like seconds later, that keyhole just disappears. I'm showing a side-by-side right now. And yeah, like what? The animators drew it with a keyhole, and then they just switched up, bro. They just changed their mind. They're like, nah, no keyhole, which is totally a mistake. And here's mistake number 2. You guys should be able to catch this one. It's somewhat of a common mistake in SpongeBob. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I reveal it. Try to comment the mistake before I actually break it down, all right? Roll that footage. Take a look at this.
What are you morons doing?
Making a card for Mr. Krabs to go with his new mattress.
Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at literally any shot of the Krusty Krab, more specifically the inside, and you'll notice that this right here, it's the galley grub menu. It has all of the items for sale and prices. It's always right here, somewhat behind or aside from Squidward's cashier workstation that he hates so much. But randomly, like randomly, dude, in the Lost Mattress, when SpongeBob and Patrick are making the card for Mr. Krabs, look, the galley grub sign is like all the way over here for some reason. It's like in front of the boat, which looks incredibly weird. This has never happened before and has never happened again. And guys, it's totally a mistake. Kind of a weird one too, but yeah, let's head over to another episode, guys. The mistakes are only gonna get spicier as we go. Like, trust me, we've got some mind-blowing mistakes coming up, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling.
I would like to paint the Chum bucket to please my wife. I came prepared too. All right.
Next up, we have an episode that I haven't talked about a whole bunch throughout my time doing these SpongeBob mistakes, and I've covered like well over like 500 SpongeBob mistakes at this point. The episode is Bucket Sweet Bucket, and it's probably because this episode just doesn't have a whole bunch of mistakes. There's only 2, and here's the first one. Okay, for this one to really hit, let's take a look at like any shot of the Krusty Krab, all right? We can see it right here. And a big part of its design, at least from the outside, is this yellow enter sign right here. That's right by the doors, pretty much. It's always been there ever since SpongeBob season 1, as you can see here. But in the scene where SpongeBob and Patrick leave with the front piece of the Krusty Krab, like stealing it, look, that enter sign should be right here, but it's just missing. They were too lazy to draw it. Talk about a mistake, and here's another one.
He knows I'll actually want to see out the window. Wait, I give you one simple task after another.
Okay, so listen closely, guys, because this one is just, it's kind of technical, all right? So, when Plankton and SpongeBob walk over to the window that Patrick made, we can see that it has 8 bolts on it, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here, I arrowed all of them. However, after Plankton notices that the window is closed, and we see it again, what in the world happened? Because it no longer has 8 bolts, it now has 7 bolts. The amount of bolts wouldn't randomly change in between scenes, and to make things worse, after Plankton bites off one of the bolts, there are 8 of them again. So just what a messy scene. What a weird mistake. Crazy, dude. It happened like 4 times in one scene. So yeah, let's head over to another episode though, guys. Things are about to get wild. Next up, we have the episode Once Bitten, which is all about everybody thinking that Gary, like, turns people into zombies if he bites them. It's an interesting episode. I actually really like this episode, just saying. As a matter of fact, here are some crazy clips from this episode, and then we'll get right into the mistakes.
A bite from that infected snail will turn you into a zombie.
That snail
mental disease is real!
Alright. I know what you guys clicked on the video for mistakes, but like I said, Once Bitten's actually a pretty cool episode. Anyways though, here's mistake number 1. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Yeah, that first one is very straightforward. I'm sure a lot of you guys caught it, but when SpongeBob runs to the bus, we can see this stop sign right here, all right? And remember the area, remember the location, because in the very next scene, that stop sign, which should be right here, has completely disappeared. Now, this is most likely a case of cartoon logic, but still technically a mistake, and here's mistake number 2 from Once Bitten. Now, this one is really bad. Be prepared, guys, and here's a hint. It has to do with the bottom half of SpongeBob, all right? Pay attention, try to reveal the mistake in the comments before I actually reveal it. I know you guys can do it. Roll that mistake.
Gary, how could you?
Like I said, it's really, really bad. But when SpongeBob says, Gary, how could you? Look, he's missing his legs. Like, they just didn't draw his legs. It's like, to be fair, it's only the bottom of the frame where you can see that his legs are missing. Like, we have to pull the footage up and zoom in, and you can see right here, this space, his legs should be there. So they made a massive mistake here. Like, how do you draw SpongeBob without his legs? Crazy, dude.
And a king-size vibrating bed.
Grandpat's gonna take this puppy for a test nap.
Next up, it's Star Cruise, and I'll admit I'm kind of cheating, guys. This is the Patrick Star Show episode, but I mean, come on, it's SpongeBob, Patrick Star Show, it's all the same stuff. Well, actually, like, regular SpongeBob is way better, but anyways, the episode is Star Cruise, and here's the mistake.
Let's explore the ship. Meet up for dinner? Yeah! Sweet dreams, Grandpa! Enjoy your cruisy snooze.
Okay, so let's take a look at Bunny over here. This is Patrick's mother, for those who do not know. And you'll notice a big part of her design is this lipstick right here that she always wears. You can see it right here. Remember this, as in Star Cruise, when Bunny leaves the engine room in this scene right here, look. It's not a huge deal, but the animators completely forgot to draw her lipstick. And what's funny is, like, after this scene, look, her lipstick is back. And before this scene, she was wearing lipstick. So even when we see her in the engine room, she's wearing lipstick. So just, yeah, a mistake. This one is nothing compared to the next set of mistakes we'll be covering in this next episode, though. Let's head over there.
Are you brushing your teeth?
Yes, Mother.
Next up, the episode is Chums from season 13. A really good episode in my opinion that's all about Plankton going down to the sewers and meeting, you know, a bunch of chum that want to work with him. The plot itself is kind of weird, but the episode's pretty good. But you know what we're here for? We're here for mistakes, and here it is, guys. Here it is. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I come back and, like, reveal it, all right? So we're gonna play the clip, try to comment the mistake before I break it down, and then I'll break it down, all right? Roll that footage.
Wendy. And is for anywhere at any time at all.
Did you guys catch it? It happens really, really fast, and it's somewhat of a common mistake in SpongeBob. But while SpongeBob is spraying the Krusty Krab in the beginning of the episode in the clips you guys just saw, look, for about one frame, his right eye turns yellow. It does go back to normal, but like, SpongeBob, you gotta go see a doctor about that eye, dude. You're gonna need some eye drops.
Nothing can stop me now.
Except the law.
The episode Jailbreak is an interesting episode. It's all about Plankton getting put in jail, like he gets locked up. But he eventually joins forces with his cellmates to break out of jail and get that Krabby Patty secret formula, or at least he tries. Now this episode only has one mistake, but this one mistake is actually like really bad. It happens really quickly. I'm gonna play the clip. Let's see if you guys can spot the mistake, all right? Let's do this. Roll that footage.
Sorry, boss. We looked everywhere for it, but we can't find it.
Did you try looking in the safe?
Oh.
Did you guys catch it? Like I said, it happens really, really fast. It has to do with SpongeBob's pants. But when the whale cellmate turns around and looks at the safe in the Krusty Krab, look, SpongeBob's pant leg color is like randomly white instead of brown. I don't even need to show you guys this, but this is how SpongeBob normally looks, and as you can see, his pant legs are brown. But in this one scene of this one episode, yeah, they messed up big time, because why are his pants brown? It looks so weird. Not as weird as this next episode set of mistakes, guys. Be prepared, because these are gonna blow your mind. Let's head over to another episode.
Goodies news!
Who's that, Mr. Krabs?
That appears to be Corporal Sterling, lad. Forgot all about that prank.
I know I'm kind of weird for this, but one of my favorite SpongeBob characters is Squidward, and it's awesome when Squidward gets like his own episodes where he's like the main character of the episode. And this is what happens in the insanely bizarre and wacky episode Squidward and Clarinet Land, where somehow Squidward ends up in this place, Clarinet Land, which is just wild. Like, look at how weird this place is.
Where am I? What is this place?
What's really strange in this episode, though, are the two mistakes. This first one, though, is just wow. Roll the footage.
I don't appreciate your tone.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
This is a sacred place.
Definitely one of the worst mistakes I've covered. So as you guys can see, when the bald eagle over here grabs Squidward with his tongue, ew, for about one frame, this frame right here, Squidward's eyes are completely out of position. They're like behind his head, when of course they should be facing the eagle. Like, how did this happen? Like, what? If you thought this was bad though, take a look at mistake number 2 from Squidward and Clarinet Land. Like, this episode is full of mistakes.
Squidward? Are you okay?
It's such a nightmare.
Did you guys catch that one? So when Squidward mutters such a nightmare, for about 2 frames if we look right here, his mouth, his entire bottom part of his mouth just was not drawn. It's only for a few frames, so it can kind of be forgiven, but like, how do these mistakes even happen, man? 2D animation's hard, I'll give them a break, but like, you just forgot to draw his whole mouth. Poor Squidward, but yeah, let's keep it rolling, guys. Lots of crazy mistakes coming up, so stay tuned.
Need 1 medical sea chicken.
Next up, we have a modern episode of SpongeBob. This episode's from the HD era. It's Code Yellow. And the plot of this episode's actually really funny. Squidward over here wants to get a nose job at the hospital, but somehow SpongeBob over here becomes his doctor and his surgeon. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, I would never let SpongeBob perform a surgery on my face. There's a lot of weird things going on in this hospital though. There's a mistake here that's really funny. I'm gonna roll the clip and let's see if you guys can spot it. And here's a hint, it has to do with this fish right here.
Ah, this is the life.
Oh boy, surgery! Oh, hi everybody!
Yeah, so when SpongeBob enters the operating room in the clips you guys just saw, this fish right here on the left, who looks like Incidental 6 kind of, is purple, alright? Remember this? He's purple. But here's the problem. In the following scenes, like seconds later, we jump to the same shot and that same fish is there, but look at him now. He's now a completely different color and he's kind of changed shape as well. So just like, what? Fish don't magically change colors in between scenes. What most likely happened here is they originally drew and colored this fish as purple and then forgot and gave him a completely different color, which looks so weird. This is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I really wanted to make today, like all of the mistakes, to be like funny mistakes. So stay tuned, let's keep it moving. Plenty of more episodes to cover and plenty of more mistakes coming up. Before we head over to the next one though, do me a favor, in the comments, let me know 3 episodes you want me to cover in the future and I'll find mistakes in them. Do it right now, leave that comment, but let's head over to that next episode. Let's keep it moving.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. Oh!
Next up is the season 3 banger, Chocolate with Nuts. If you don't know this episode, then you're living under a rock like Patrick. I love this episode, and it has some mistakes. Here's the first one.
Chocolate?
Chocolate? Did you say chocolate? Chocolate? Chocolate!
So take a close look at Incidental 6 over here, as when he says, "Did you say chocolate?" his eyes are yellow and his tongue is red, as you can see here, alright, Incidental 6. However, literally in the next shot, not only are his eyes now green, as you can see here, but his tongue is also pink. The tongue color change isn't that big of a deal, but how do you go from yellow to green eyes? And there's more. This episode has another mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Oh!
listen closely as this one is very detailed, okay? So, when SpongeBob and Patrick encounter the con man for the third time, we can see this staircase to his front door right here. And what's important is that it only has 3 steps. Remember this, okay? Staircase right here, and it only has 3 steps. But moments later, when the con man eventually falls down this same staircase, it's the same staircase, it now magically has like 10 steps. Like, what? Did he renovate the staircase in between shots? Because this is totally a mistake. First it had 3 steps, and now it has 10 steps. So yeah, a mistake. And let's keep it moving and head over to another cartoon with more mistakes, guys. Stay tuned, you're not gonna believe them. Next up is As Seen on TV. Now, this episode is about the Krusty Krab's first ever commercial, and SpongeBob over here thinks he's famous because he gets like a 2-second cameo in the commercial that airs on TV. It's really funny. SpongeBob gets a massive ego in the episode. It's hilarious. Here are some clips.
SpongeBob.
Wow, I'm getting recognized all over.
Hey, look!
Please, good people, no photos at work.
I gotta say, it's really weird seeing SpongeBob act like this. He's normally such a wholesome character, and he doesn't really care about attention that much. When in this episode, he thinks he's the star of the show. It's really funny the way he interacts with other characters. But what isn't so funny are the mistakes in this episode, and there's three mistakes in one episode. Here's the first one.
Squidward, this crowd is insatiable.
This first one is pretty bad, but I gotta say, you need the eyes of a hawk to be able to actually catch it. So at one point, SpongeBob lifts up his shirt collar, but if you look at the back, right by his fingers, it's like the smallest spot. I'm gonna zoom in on it so you guys can see. They didn't draw the back of his collar. Right there by his fingers, we should be able to see the back of his shirt, but I guess they just forgot to draw it. And now that I've shown you, you know it looks kind of weird. Not as weird as mistake number 2 though. This one's really bad.
There's a nun, an astronaut, and a hairdryer.
We want patties!
Well, the most I can juggle is 3.
Okay, so look during this scene. When the crowd says, "We want patties," Incidental 46's waist is purple. Throughout the episode, it looks like this, right? This is how it's supposed to look, but in this one shot, for some reason, it's purple. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we still got one more mistake in this episode. Here's mistake number 3.
This looks expensive. Out of my way, coming through. Move it or... Oh, well, how do you explain that? A second Krusty Krab?
So early on in the episode, as you guys can see, there is a second Krusty Krab. But here's the problem. It's actually only shown when Mr. Krabs mentions it. In any other shot where you would be able to see it, it's just not there. Like in some of these shots, it should be right there. Here's a shot of it being there. Now look at these shots. It's just not there. It's missing. It's gone.
SpongeBob, what's happening?
I don't know.
Next up, the episode is Snooze You Lose. So this is another modern HD episode of SpongeBob, and I'm gonna play the mistake, but here's a little hint. It has to do with the top of Patrick's head, all right? Roll that footage. Yeah, so this is somewhat of a common mistake in 2D animation, and it's because animation is based off of layers, all right? Each item on screen, like SpongeBob, is one layer, the background is one layer. I'm not gonna explain it all right now because animation is complicated, but in this scene right here, if we pause at the right frame, look, Patrick's head gets cut off prematurely. What was supposed to happen here is Patrick's head is supposed to be touching like the side of the frame, so the top of his head would get cut off. But they positioned him a little too far from the right side of the frame, which is why we can just see this piece of his head missing. You know, it makes sense because Patrick doesn't have much of a brain, you know, maybe that's why half of his head got cut off, but it's more likely that it was a mistake, and it's okay, we'll forgive you, Nickelodeon. First up is going to be Truth or Square, which is quite literally almost a SpongeBob movie. This episode is almost over an hour long, but it's only really considered to be a special, a TV special. Now, it's a good one, it has a lot of good moments, but it also has tons of mistakes, so let's dive into the first one. Take a look at this.
Are you okay?
Did you guys catch it? It's pretty blatant. But when SpongeBob says, "Are you okay?" in Patchy's dream, the right side of this dude's pants is just transparent. It's entirely see-through, dude. Like, what? This one is a pretty bad mistake, guys. Like, the animators completely forgot to color in this part of his pants, which is ridiculous. But hold up, guys, there's more. Here's another mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch this one. Now, as any hardcore SpongeBob fan knows, a big part of these specials is Patchy the Pirate. I love this dude, which, fun fact, Patchy the Pirate is actually Tom Kenny, who is the voice actor of SpongeBob. Very interesting. But anyways, this next mistake has to do with Patchy, as when he's shaking around in the whale, take a look at this, his hand gets slightly cut off. It looks kind of rough, but this one isn't that big of a deal. This next mistake though, this one you guys don't want to miss. Roll the footage.
Oh, Krusty Krab, oh.
Alright, so take a look at this. When SpongeBob sings "Oh Krusty Krab," look over here. We can see the path to the Chum bucket. It's right there, right? We can see it. The path is right there. But during this scene near the end, where did it go? The path is just gone now. First it was there during this scene where SpongeBob sings, but then near the ending of the episode, it's just gone. Almost as if the animators forgot about the path in this last scene, which is totally a mistake. And guess what, guys? Here's another one from this special. Truth or Square has a lot of mistakes. So for this one to really make sense, let's take a look at a general shot of Sandy Cheeks over here, our favorite squirrel. So as you can see, there's this patch of tan fur on her torso. And as you can also see, it normally extends to above her chest, all right? It looks like this tan fur right here. But if we take a look at Sandy in her wedding dress in this scene, the way that her fur looks is just different. The patch of tan fur on her torso just doesn't extend this time. Like, look, here's a side by side and I'm circling the areas and you guys can kind of see the mistake here. Not that big of a deal, but let's head over to another special, guys, with even worse mistakes. These mistakes coming up are bad. Next up is Atlantis Squarepantis, and this is personally one of my favorite SpongeBob specials. It's hilarious. They go in this like van that takes them to Atlantis. At one point they even go into a video game. I'm gonna show the mistakes, but take a look at this really cool scene of them in the video game.
What's going on here? Oh, no. Ah!
Dude, that's really cool. It's like really cool animation too that they did a shot like this. But what isn't good animation is the 4 mistakes in this episode. To be fair, the episode's almost an hour long, so it makes sense. But anyways, here's the first mistake.
Hand to hand.
How's it work?
Please have a seat, and I'll explain. Now, here's how it...
So just like Truth or Square, this next mistake revolves around Sandy, alright? So let's take a look at her design again. As you can see, Sandy always has this like square icon on her suit. And it's always yellow, as you can see in all of these shots, even this shot from Tea at the Tree Dome, her debut episode. Well, in Atlantis Squarepantis, when Sandy says, "How's it work?" as that square around the acorn on her suit is white for some reason. When as you guys just seen, it's supposed to be yellow. Here's like a side by side. Yeah, that's a mistake. And here's one that's twice as bad from the same episode. Take a look at this.
Hey look, it's Atlantis.
Pretty.
Yeah, did you guys catch that? Because this one is like really brutal. So, when everyone is at the window after Squidward says, "Look, it's Atlantis." For one, SpongeBob's left leg is just missing. It's kind of hard to see. I'm zooming in and circling, dude. Yeah, his left leg is just gone. It's a cartoon and mistakes happen, especially in 2D animated cartoons. But how do you forget to draw a character's left leg? You know what's worse though? In the same scene, take a look at Mr. Krabs, as both of his legs are just gone. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how you forget to draw a character's legs. There's no excuse for that one, man. But let's keep it moving. I've got more mistakes from Atlantis Squarepantis. Here's mistake number 3.
Itty bitty mighty mo. I pick you. Now let's go. Cower to me, fools!
This next one has to do with Plankton's arsenal of weapons. So when Plankton finally picks up his weapon, as you can see, it's red. Remember this, okay? It's red. But if we watch as the scene progresses, and it gets to this point where he stops everyone in their tracks, it's now green. Here's another side-by-side. At first it was red, but now it's green. Weapons don't just change colors randomly, guys. Like, I mean, it looks cooler green, but that's not how it works. That's totally a mistake. And there's one more from this episode. This one is also pretty rough. Take a look at this.
Is this some kind of joke? Ow!
Listen closely, guys, as this one's kinda technical. Now, when Mr. Krabs is trying to put gas in the bus, there's no exhaust pipe, alright? This is a big point in the episode right here. There's no exhaust pipe. They're also told that the bus uses singing as its fuel. So it doesn't need gas, and there is no exhaust pipe at all in this van or this bus, right? Well then explain this, as later on we see Plankton literally climbing out of an exhaust pipe of the van or the truck, which is totally a mistake. They literally said that it doesn't use gas, so there wouldn't be an exhaust pipe on the bus, guys. This is just another mistake. This one's kind of funny too. It's like, what? But let's keep it moving and head over to another special. Season 3's The Sponge Who Could Fly is another banger special. It isn't as long, it only takes up like 20 minutes or so, but it's still really good, even despite the mistakes it has. Take a look at some of these funny scenes from the episode, and then we're gonna dive right into the mistakes. There's 3 in total, so be prepared, they're pretty rough.
It's working, Patrick! I'm flying! I'm falling!
Okay, baby, it's mistake time. Here's mistake number 1. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
I guess I'm not meant to fly after all. Huh?
Listen closely, gang, as this one is kind of confusing, and you need to not only listen closely, but you need to pay close attention. So during this scene, SpongeBob's walking, and we can see this little horde of jellyfish behind him, like following him, all right? I'm showing it in slow motion and circling it. Now, eventually, some of these jellyfish help SpongeBob fly, and he starts lifting into the air. But remember that horde of jellyfish, right? If we watch closely, just as SpongeBob is rising into the air, that horde of jellyfish in the background just randomly disappear. They don't fly away, they don't fade out, they literally just disappear. And it looks really awkward, guys. Like, look at this in slow motion and you'll see what I mean. It's rough. You know what's also rough though? This other mistake from The Sponge Who Could Fly. Take a look at this. Did you guys spot it? Well, in this scene, there's a bunch of these like mini little SpongeBobs, okay? They're very cute, but at one point they all start running around in a circle. And if we slow down the footage, we can see that one of them completely just disappears for a frame. They pop right back in after that one frame, so it's not that big of a deal, but I'm pausing again and look at this. Dude is just gone. Here, even take a look at it again in slow motion. Dude is there and then he just disappears and pops back in. It's more funny than anything, so. But here's one more mistake from this episode.
You may as well skip.
It's hilarious, but in this scene, there's a funeral for SpongeBob's inflatable pants, alright? He loved those inflatable pants so much that he put on a funeral for them. But look closely and you'll notice that there are 2 incidental 41s in one shot. Now, in the past, when I do duplication incidental mistakes, some people will like use this logic that there's multiple of one incidental. But to be honest with you guys, that's not actually how it works. There is over like 200 of these incidentals. Like, look, I'm showing the Wikipedia page. Look at how many of these that there are. Whenever they're duplicated, it is a mistake, guys. It's not supposed to happen. It's the animators being a little bit lazy. But I mean, it's understandable when you're animating a 2D show, like it's a lot of work. So I completely understand it, but just to those people who think these aren't mistakes, they are mistakes. There is only one incidental 41. So yeah, let's keep it moving. So we just covered a ton of SpongeBob specials, longer episodes that were like movies just for TV. They didn't didn't go to the theaters or anything like that. But now it's time to talk about some actual SpongeBob movies, and I've got two. First up is Sponge on the Run, which came out recently in 2020, which I really enjoyed, to be honest. Especially the Snoop Dogg scene. Take a look at this, it's so funny. I'm gonna summarize it for you guys, and then we're gonna get right into the mistakes.
Dog. Even when I'm on, I'm off, y'all. Looking for the king, get a call, y'all. You better leave now where you lost, dog.
Now, what's gonna be interesting about these next couple of sections is that Sponge on the Run is 3D animated. So normally SpongeBob's 2D animated. This is why mistakes are so common, because 2D animation is drawn digitally, which is really hard. 3D animation, on the other hand, is 3D models, so it's less likely that there's going to be a mistake. However, there's still like a couple of mistakes in this movie, starting with this scene right here, as you guys seen.
Must accept a challenge.
But I just want to find Gary and bring him home.
So when SpongeBob says, "But I just want to find Gary and take him home," take a look at our boy's belt. Normally, as you can see in this shot, SpongeBob has a black belt, okay? But in this one shot of Sponge on the Run, dude's belt is like brown. It's the same color as his pants. It looks pretty weird and is totally a mistake. Looking at it, it might be due to the lighting or something, but I really do think somehow his belt was just brown in this shot. Weird, but here's another mistake. This one is just a blatant mess up.
Various and diverse plankton.
Tonight I launch evil plan number 3087.
Listen closely, gang. This is another complicated one. So at the very beginning of the movie, we hear a narrator talk about all of the different characters, okay? And at one point, it shows Plankton. And as we can see on this blueprint right here, it's evil plan number 3084, okay? If we even look at the blueprint, it's accurate to the plan that he does later on. Now, as the movie progresses, and when Plankton finally goes to do this evil plan, there's a massive mistake. As you guys seen before, on the blueprint, it says it's 3084, all right? But if you listen to Plankton, he verbally calls it evil plan number 3087. So this is totally a mistake here. It's actually evil plan number 3084, but I guess the writers messed up and had Plankton say the incorrect line. So this was a blatant mistake here. And here's one more from this movie.
Probably mention how he encouraged me to start up my own restaurant.
You should open up your own restaurant someday.
The Krusty Krab.
So the ending of this movie has a lot of continuity errors, but I'm only going to focus on this first one. So there's this flashback of SpongeBob telling Mr. Krabs he should open his own restaurant, okay? And they're trying to say that this is how Mr. Krabs went on to start the Krusty Krab. But in terms of SpongeBob-like lore, this doesn't make any sense. In the season 1 episode Hooky, a very iconic episode, and again, it's from season 1, so like original SpongeBob, written by the original creator Steven Hillenburg, rest in peace. In this episode, it shows that the Krusty Krab has been around since at least 1959.
No one's taken a break at the Krusty Krab since the Chum famine of '59.
And then, if we take a look at the episode Truth or Square, which we talked about earlier in today's video, it shows that SpongeBob was visiting the Krusty Krab as a baby in around 1986 or 1987.
Would you like?
So what is being claimed here in Sponge on the Run about SpongeBob, like, causing Mr. Krabs to open the Krusty Krab is blatant cap. SpongeBob wasn't even born yet when the Krusty Krab was invented back in 1959, according to Hooky, and we know this because SpongeBob is seen as a baby in, like, the 1980s in the episode Truth or Square. I can't believe I'm diving this hard into, like, historical facts about SpongeBob, but yeah, it's a mistake, guys. It don't make any sense. The writers were capping on this one, so yeah, SpongeBob did not cause Mr. Krabs to start the Krusty Krab. Next up, we have the episode Hide and Then What Happens. I'm gonna get right into the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
You aren't the one I'm seeking! No, I'll never find Patrick. He wins at hide and seek. He wins.
This one's pretty bad, and it actually happens fairly commonly in SpongeBob. But when SpongeBob says he wins at hide and seek, he wins, one of his eyes actually partially turns yellow, as you can see right here. I don't think you guys need me to tell you that SpongeBob's eyes are normally white, but in this one shot of this episode right here, it's kinda yellow, which is pretty bad. SpongeBob, you need to go and see a doctor, broski. That's not okay. But what's also not okay is the other mistake in this episode. Take a look at this, guys.
Thanks again, Sandy.
Be careful!
So a little bit of science for you guys. Submarines, right? They need to be in water to move, all right? They move in water. Well, take a look at this scene in Hide Then What Happens. As this submarine is able to move around in Sandy's tree dome, which, as I mentioned before, wouldn't be possible. There is no water in Sandy's tree dome, which is why SpongeBob and Patrick have to wear these water helmets. And to make things worse, if you look, the submarine shows bubbles being made from the propeller when they're inside a waterless tree dome. So just, yeah, that's a mistake and just kind of a messy scene, but guys, check out this mistake. This one's even worse.
Where is he hiding? Way too obvious.
This one's kind of funny. So right here is Conch Street. You guys know this street. It's iconic. SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick's houses all are on this street. But in Hide and Then What Happens, when SpongeBob looks around and sees Patrick's house, neither Squidward nor SpongeBob's houses are shown, which is totally a mistake. I mean, again, look at this shot of Conch Street. They should be right there. And even if it isn't a mistake, the animators are very lazy for not drawing them. So just, yeah, a bit of a messy episode, guys. But stay tuned, as I'm saving some of the best mistakes for the ending of the video, so stay tuned, alright? Let's keep it moving. I know I always say stuff like this, guys, but this is seriously the funniest mistake we've ever covered on the channel. Like, I will say that till the day I die. It's in the episode Man Ray Returns. It's not gonna make a ton of sense at first, but take a look at some of these clips. Now, if you've seen the original episode, then you probably already know what's going on here. But in the Polish dub of this episode, Man Ray Returns, the animators completely messed up. In the English version, Man Ray talks throughout the episode and has dialogue, okay? Here's a quick clip of it.
Hey, dude, keep it down. I'm not doing any evil this week. I'm on vacation.
But in the Polish dub of Man Ray Returns, the editors completely forgot to include his lines. So even though Man Ray is supposed to be talking throughout the entire episode, he literally does not speak at all because the editors forgot to include his recorded voiceover lines. It's unknown how this happened, but dude, this is probably, seriously guys, the worst mistake I've ever covered in the show's history. Like, a character that talks throughout the English version's episode, the whole episode, just does not talk at all during the Polish dub. Like, what? Yeah, let's keep it moving, guys. I've got more mistakes. I love this next episode. It is a classic. I'm talking about Club SpongeBob. This one's so much fun. The magic conch shell, for example. Oh my gosh. But it has a mistake. Take a look at this.
And after all, the club gotta stick together. And I mean, you know,
Squidward?
Yeah.
This one is a bit of a nitpick, but also, I mean, if you watch the footage and really pay attention to it, you'll see what I mean. It's a major mistake. But when SpongeBob is shown drinking a glass of orange juice, it looks delicious. Watch the juice in the glass as it stays at the same level the entire scene instead of going down. Like, seriously, dude, I'm looping it. It's like SpongeBob just has unlimited orange juice in this shot, which is totally a mistake, guys. It's a little mistake. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a mistake. And don't click off yet, because I've got more, and guys, things are about to get spicy, boys. Gonna get spicy in here. So there's been a lot of weird mistakes in today's video, but this next episode, the plot of it is even more weird. The episode is SpongeBob Tentacle Pants, which already gives you an idea. I'm gonna get into the mistakes, but first, here are some funny clips from the episode.
What in tarnation?
Yeah, SpongeBob and Squidward getting morphed together sounds like a nightmare, especially for Squidward, because he does not like SpongeBob very much. What I don't like personally, though, are the mistakes in this episode. Let's see if you guys can spot this one.
No. I have a performance tomorrow. I can't be stuck to that yellow freak.
And as you can see, SpongeBob has this tentacle arm since, you know, he's morphed with Squidward. And more importantly, it's this bluish color, alright? Remember this. At one point where Squidward speaks to Sandy and says, "I can't stay stuck to that yellow freak." And it zooms in on SpongeBob over here. The tentacle arm is yellow instead of the usual bluish color. It's supposed to be the bluish color, but you can see why this mistake would have happened. Normally SpongeBob's yellow, so that's why they made it yellow. But in terms of the episode's plot and the coloring and the animation, this is totally a mistake. And here's another one. Did you guys catch it? Well, in the part where Incidental 41 holds his barf, that's disgusting, take a look at Sandals over here as his eyes are just not attached to his body. What? Oh boy, another classic SpongeBob banger. This one's The Bully. This is a really good episode. I love the character Flats. I mean, he's a bully. He's not very nice, but he's still a funny character. Here, take a look at some of these hilarious scenes of him being a massive bully.
I thought for sure that was gonna be Flats!
Okay, on to the mistakes. It's what you guys clicked on the video for. Let's see if you guys can spot this one.
Huh? Are you Flats' dad?
Nothing, son.
What did I tell you about talking to strangers?
So, when SpongeBob comes running out of school and crashes into Flats' dad's boat, this boat right here, we can see that it only has one seat, so only one fish would be able to be in this boat at a time. During this scene, Flats is now randomly shown in the car as well, along with his dad, which wouldn't be possible because there was only one seat unless like Flats is like sitting on his dad's lap. They're both pretty big dudes too. I don't mean to be mean, but they're both kind of thick, so I don't think they'd be able to fit in there. Totally a mistake, and here's another one, guys. You won't miss this one.
Flats is from a town where kicking someone's butt means that he wants to be your friend.
So as you guys just heard, we could hear Mrs. Puff speaking. All right, we could hear her voice and everything. But if you watch closely during this scene where you could hear her, Flats is making the sand sculpture of SpongeBob and kicks it. But Mrs. Puff's mouth is not actually moving. So how did we hear her? You can see it right here. Her mouth isn't moving, but we heard audio of her talking. So an audio mistake, a weird one. And guys, I've got another one from this episode. This one is spicy.
A happy face for Flats the Flounder.
Yeah, like I said, this one's spicy, this one's bad. So, when Flats first walks into the classroom, look at the door he comes through and look at where it leads, all right? This door goes from outside to inside the classroom. But later on, when SpongeBob's standing in this hallway, we can see that this door also leads to this hallway, when it should lead outside. I know this one's kind of confusing, hopefully you guys got it, but where this door leads changes, and it's very weird. Not as weird as this next episode and its mistake though, so let's watch it, stay tuned. We don't get a ton of Sandy episodes anymore, but the episode Chips Ahoy is largely centered around Sandy, which I love. Take a look at some of these clips from the episode.
I give you the automatic back scratcher, hair comber, nose picker, and ukulele tuner 9000.
Okay, mistake time. Let's get into the first and only mistake from this episode.
Invented a parallel universe.
That's a mirror, Patrick. It's already been invented.
So as you guys just seen, we see SpongeBob look in the mirror, okay? And he's wearing his water helmet. It's what he needs to survive. However, if we look in the mirror, he's not wearing the helmet. First, he's wearing it, and we even see him go to look in the mirror, but then when we see his reflection in the mirror, the air helmet is just not there, or the water helmet, I mean, is just not there, making for a really, really bad mistake. First up is the episode Choir Boys, which has some wild mistakes. Roll the clips.
SpongeBob, I will be late to practice with all of your tomfoolery slowing me down.
Did ya catch it? As when Squidward rips off SpongeBob's fake mustache, just saying, SpongeBob looks pretty cool with a mustache. He should consider growing one out. But when Squidward rips it off, the latter's right arm is missing for a bit. That arm is gone. Look at it, it's missing, it's disappeared. Talk about a mistake, guys. Let's keep it moving though and head over to another mistake you've never seen before, so stay tuned.
Aging process by 30 years per second.
Let's keep it going with SpongeBob Season 6. You know, it isn't the best season, but what I can say for sure is a lot of Season 6 episodes have mistakes. I don't know what was going on, if the animators got lazy in Season 6, but we're going to be talking about Pineapple Fever. Here is the first mistake.
Did you hear that?
Oh, it's just Patrick gnawing on his can.
So take a look at this can that Patrick is chewing on, okay? When Patrick first gets the can, it has a yellow label, as you can see right here. I'm zooming in on it, I'm circling it, as you can see, and remember guys, that label is yellow. But when SpongeBob says that the noise was Patrick chewing on the can, it now has a red label. Like, what? How did it change randomly? First it was yellow, then halfway through it changes to red. And it isn't a different can. I know this for sure. It's the same can. So the animators must have messed up and forgot that it was originally yellow. Mistakes happen, and here's another mistake in this episode. Did you catch it? Well, if you did, I'm impressed because this one is easy to miss. But when SpongeBob looks at the chalk Squidward threw down, his lower lip is black when it's supposed to be red. I'm zooming in here, and yeah, his lower lip is black. That's SpongeBob, man. You need to go have a shower or something. I don't know how your bottom lip is black. That is gnarly, dude. But yeah, 2 mistakes in this one episode, guys. Jeez. Let's keep it moving, though, and head over to another episode. Stay tuned, guys, because I'm saving some of the craziest mistakes for last, and you don't want to miss them.
Exact change. Exactly. Clink. Clink. Clink.
Enough with the pennies!
Next up, let's head over to season 12 and talk about a fairly good episode that I personally enjoyed, that being Squid on a Bus, which, I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory for this one, guys. It's about Squidward taking the bus. It's a good episode, but like most episodes of SpongeBob, it does have 3 mistakes hidden in it, and these mistakes are really, really bad, guys. Here's mistake number 1.
Where's that bus? I've been waiting for almost an hour. Late again. 1 coin.
So in the opening of the episode, Squidward appears to be wearing a watch on his right wrist, right? You can see it right here. I'm zooming in on it. But seconds later, when the bus door opens, Squidward's watch is just missing now. I doubt the dude took it off to go in the bus. What I think happened is in this first shot right here, the animators drew him with a watch, but then the animators forgot about the watch because in this scene, the watch is just gone. Poof, it went missing. And that's not the only thing missing in the beginning of the episode, as there's another mistake that's kind of similar to this one. Roll the footage again.
I've been waiting for almost an hour.
Almost an hour, he says.
Did ya catch it? Well, take a look at this shot of Conch Street right here. As you can see, it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and then good old SpongeBob's house right here, that old-fashioned pineapple house. Now I'm hungry. But in that opening scene, where is SpongeBob's house? It should be right there. You could say that, you know, it just wasn't on the screen, but the distance between Squidward's house and SpongeBob's house is not that wide, and I'm pretty sure the animators were just feeling kind of lazy in this scene and didn't draw SpongeBob's house, which is still technically a mistake. But wait, there's more. Here's mistake number 3. Let's see if you guys can catch this one. Man, 3 mistakes in one episode is like really bad. Nickelodeon be slacking, boy. But take a look at this shot from inside the bus when the bus starts rocking. As you can see, there are passengers inside. They're chilling inside the bus. But when we get the same shot from the outside view, why is Squidward the only one on the bus? The passengers just disappeared? They're gone? Poof? Talk about a mistake, a continuity mistake, and let's keep the video moving, guys, and head over to episode number 4. Here are 2 really quick mistakes that happen in the season 6 episode, Sandcastles in the Sand. Keep those eyes peeled, roll the footage.
Get up, Patrick, it's time.
So take a look at this shot of SpongeBob's house right here, his iconic pineapple home. I want some pineapple now. I always say this, but you know, pineapple's really good. But anyways, as you can see, SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home has a chimney on it. Even take a look at this footage from season 1. It's always been there. He's always had a chimney. But in Sandcastles in the Sand, when SpongeBob leaves his house, where is it? Where'd it go? His house is missing its chimney, and it looks really weird. This was definitely a mistake. I guess whoever animated this part of the episode forgot that SpongeBob's house has a chimney. So yeah, not that big of a deal, but definitely a mistake. And here's another one. Like I said, it's really quick.
Hey, wait! This is not our stop! No one's ever gonna find us out here!
So as you just seen, SpongeBob and Patrick get kicked off of the bus beside this road. I want you guys to remember this road right here. I'm circling it, I'm zooming in, there is a road right here, all right? Then SpongeBob says, no one is ever going to find us out here, and now this road has just disappeared, like it's gone. The road is literally just gone. It was there in this shot, now it's gone. I don't know what happened, but talk about some cartoon logic for sure. Again, I'm always gonna say, guys, this is a cartoon, so I know why this happened, but it was some weird continuity, and every time I watch this episode now, I notice it, and it looks really rough. But anyways, let's move over to another episode, let's go. You know, Plankton is a very evil guy, but have you ever wondered what would happen if SpongeBob went to work at the Chum Bucket? Well, this is exactly what happens in Welcome to the Chum Bucket, a season 2 banger. Here are some clips from the episode, it's really funny.
I lost you!
What?
I bet your contract, and I lost.
Here's the thing, guys. Most of you guys listening to this are young, so I'm not going to talk about bathing too much, but as you know, when you take a bath, you don't wear clothes, right? You take off all of your clothes, okay? Well, when SpongeBob is seen bathing in the Krusty Krab kitchen during this scene while eating an ice cream, we can see his sleeves, which is totally a mistake. SpongeBob is in the bath. He shouldn't have his sleeves on his shirt. That just makes no sense. This was like a major mistake. It's like the animators forgot to take off the sleeves when they drew this one. So yeah, a pretty bad mistake. But let's keep it moving and head over to another mistake in this episode.
This kitchen's not the same without you. It's just a
Now for this one to really make sense, I want you guys to take a look at this shot of the Chum Bucket, okay? So for one, as you can see, the Chum Bucket writing is red, okay? It's red. And the Chum Bucket writing is on the front of the restaurant, directly above the door. Right here, I'm circling it, okay? Now, in this one shot of Welcome to the Chum Bucket during the song section, it's a really good song by the way, the Chum Bucket logo is on the side of the building instead of being above the doors where it usually sits. Furthermore, the text is also blue. Now this might be due to it being nighttime, but it being dark out wouldn't change the entire color of like the text. It would still be red like it's supposed to be in this shot, but here it's blue and the text is on the wrong side. So this was just a weird one. I wouldn't call this a mistake. The animators probably just did this to make their lives easier, but that's not how it's supposed to look, guys. Next up is the episode No Free Rides. This is a classic episode, and just to refresh your memory, here are some clips from the episode.
I'd never let you have this boat, not even if you were Mrs. Puff?
What a classic episode, am I right? I love this one. Now, what I missed when I was a kid though were the mistakes in this episode. Here's the first mistake, keep those eyes peeled.
Educational television!
Did ya catch it? Now, this is more of an animation error, and it's not that big of a deal because it's a cartoon, but when SpongeBob gets grated by cheese graters, that would be a terrible way to die. His eyes come out of the cheese graters several times. This would only happen one time. His eyes would go through once, they'd be shredded. It's not like SpongeBob has multiple pairs of eyes, so this was a bit of a weird mistake on the animator's end. And that's not it for this episode. I have another one.
Booty, you're cold. Take my socks. Oh, Bodie, I'm always gonna take care of you.
So, as you just seen, SpongeBob gives the boat his socks, alright? He takes them off and gives them to the boat. But then, how does he have them back on as soon as he hops into the boat's side? Again, this is just cartoon logic, right? It's fine, but it's still a bit of a funny continuity error. It's like the dude literally just gave him his socks, now somehow he magically has them back on. Whatever.
For a second there, I mistook you for a threat, but you're just a dirty little man. So long, shrimp!
Kicking things off is the season 3 banger, The Algae's Always Greener. Here's the first mistake, roll the clip.
Even if I have to come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Okay, so see this version of Mr. Krabs right here? This is an alternate universe version of Mr. Krabs because Plankton and Mr. Krabs swap lives, right? Remember this. And as you can see, he's butt naked. He's just in his birthday suit. He's just going commando right now. This is how Mr. Krabs looks for a majority of this episode. Pretty much all of the episode where we're in, you know, the Plankton version of the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs is naked. But during this one shot, when alternate universe Mr. Krabs is leaving the Krusty Krab, some of the frames of his walking animation show him with pants on, which is totally an error because, as I mentioned, he's naked the entire episode. Mr. Krabs is always wearing pants, but in this one shot, he should be naked during the walking animation. Yeah, totally a mistake, and there's more. Here's the next mistake.
And the next day.
Phone call, Mr. Plankton.
And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day.
Now this one is way more blatant, like I don't even know how the animators missed this, but when SpongeBob gives Plankton the phone, take a look at his belt lock. Normally it's yellow, as you can see in this shot, but for some reason for about a frame, it's red. I don't know what's up, SpongeBob. He's just switching up the drip, you know, switching up the belt buckles mid-episode. It looks good, but yeah, that's definitely a mistake. And here's another one. Roll the clip.
But it's just an ordinary Krabby. Oh my goodness! Squidward!
I tried, Mr. Plankton.
This next one is weird, and it's very easy to kind of miss, but it is a mistake, trust me. So, when the camera focuses on this gnarly, dutty Krabby Patty over here, guys, would you take a bite out of this? Seriously, if I paid you $100, would you take a bite? I wouldn't. But when the camera's focusing on it, the right side of the screen has this random blue border right here. I'm putting an arrow on it. It's just randomly there, which like isn't that big of a deal. You can see it was just a little bit of a glitch in the animation or the encoding of this episode, but it's there and it shouldn't be there. So yeah, let's keep it moving over to another episode. Stay tuned, guys, because you will not believe what I have next.
Well, this record won't.
Next up, I have two really quick mistakes in the episode. Sing a Song of Patrick from season 5. Here, let's see if you guys can catch this mistake. Take a look.
Who's responsible for that song on the radio? No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, at least it got that first terrible song out of our heads.
So the mistake has to do with this incidental character right here, the iconic Fred. He's the one who's always going, my leg. Here's a quick clip.
My leg? My leg! My leg!
My leg.
My leg! My leg!
But yeah, this is Fred. And now here's the thing, guys. This mistake might not seem like that big of a deal at first because incidentals change colors and outfits all the time. But Fred actually has a lot of lines in this episode and the change is very abrupt. So as you can see, Fred is wearing brown pants and he wears this for a majority of the episode. But in one scene, his pants randomly change from these brown pants to these blue pants. And don't get me wrong, dude looks fresh in both pants, you know? They're fresh pants, but it's not supposed to be like that. He should be wearing brown pants the entire episode, but it's like the animators forgot that they drew him with brown pants and then changed it to blue pants. So a weird mistake, and that's not it for this episode. Here's mistake number 2.
We should sing him a song!
Who's responsible for that song on the radio?
Why, he's right here. Patrick, stop.
This next one is easy to miss because it's more of an audio error. Audio errors are always like the worst in cartoons. But when Fred says, who's re, and it stops, right, from his line, who's responsible for that song on the radio, if you watch closely, Incidental 27's lips actually sync to what Fred's saying, despite the fact that Incidental 27 isn't saying anything. So there should be no lip syncing here from Incidental 27 because Fred is the one talking. So this one's kind of complicated, but let's keep it going and talk about more mistakes, guys. I'm saving the best one for last, so stay tuned. SpongeBob season 4 definitely isn't my favorite season, but it isn't too bad, especially because Steven Hillenburg was still somewhat involved. Now, the episode we're going to be talking about next is the episode New Leaf. Here are a bunch of funny clips from this episode before we get into the mistakes, just because I want you guys to see it. It's so funny. All right, let's get into the mistakes. Now for this first one to make sense, I want you to take a look at this shot of Plankton, and I know it's kind of weird, but look inside his mouth. This is your hint for the mistake. Roll the clip.
I surrender! There's no pulling, Krabs. Can't you see my peace offering?
So as you've seen before I played that clip, Plankton's mouth is normally red, okay? It's always red, the inside of his mouth, ever since like season 1. But for some reason in this episode, I don't know what's going on, it's purple. It's never been purple before, and it's never been purple again. So whoever colored Plankton's mouth this time needs to go back and educate themselves on SpongeBob, because his mouth is supposed to be red. Anyways though, let's move over to another mistake. Roll the footage.
I never give you the formula!
This is just another strange one. So after Plankton opens the gotcha letter, Mr. Krabs bursts through the door of the Chum bucket. And now it's important to note that normally the Chum bucket's door looks like this. It's red with round windows, okay? Remember this. But when Mr. Krabs bursts through, the door is randomly transparent with rectangular knobs. It's never looked like this before. It's weird that they just changed the design of the doors to the Chum bucket in this episode randomly. Like, this is an example of the type of stuff that happens in season 4, 5, and 6. There's just no continuity, but whatever. Mistakes happen, a weird one, but hey, let's keep it moving. Okay, up next is the Patty Caper from season 6, or the Patty Capper. Here's some clips from this episode, it's really funny.
Something happens to that secret ingredient. Don't bother coming back to work.
Where is it? Where is it?
This first mistake is really funny. I don't know how this mistake even happened. Roll the footage.
Hang back. I'm going in for a closer look.
So as you know, the inside of Sandy's tree dome has air and water can't get in, right? But at one point of this episode, SpongeBob digs a tunnel to Sandy's tree dome underground. But for some reason, the tree dome does not fill entirely with water via the tunnel, despite the fact that the water flows into the tree dome. It like stops when this should have flooded Sandy's entire tree dome, guys. They're undersea, and this made an opening from the ocean into Sandy's tree dome. It wouldn't just fill with a little bit of water. They would drown. So yeah, I don't know what happened here, but here's another mistake.
Whoa! Hey, don't I got a say in this? I'll see you later, SpongeBob. Things are getting...
First up is the season 2 banger, Bubble Buddy. I love this episode. SpongeBob gets his own Bubble Buddy in this episode, and it really bothers Squidward. But this episode is full of mistakes, guys. There's spicy mistakes hidden in this episode. I'm gonna show clips, and let's see if you guys can spot those mistakes.
Wait, there's cheese on these patties.
And?
Bubble Buddy's lactose intolerant. He can't eat cheese.
Were you able to catch mistake number 1? It's very easy to miss. Like, you need the eyes of a hawk to catch this one because it's so small. But when SpongeBob tells Squidward that Bubble Buddy is lactose intolerant, I have no idea how a person made of bubbles could be lactose intolerant, SpongeBob. But anyways, if you look closely, part of SpongeBob's top right corner detaches from his body. Again, it's very easy to miss, so I'm kind of zooming in on it, but look at that piece of SpongeBob's head just kind of floating there. That is an animation mistake, and hey, I can't really blame the animators, it's easy to miss. But this next mistake in this episode, I don't know how they missed it. Here are some clips.
I won't let you. Here we go. You'll never catch us now.
Now for this one, you really need to be keeping an eye on our boy Squidward over here, as take a look at this footage from the episode Culture Shock when Squidward does his iconic dance. Look at those fresh dance moves. As you can see, Squidward has 6 legs. It's always been this way even since the first episode of SpongeBob. This man has 6 tentacles. But when SpongeBob inflates Bubble Buddy to escape the angry crowd, Squidward is drawn with an extra leg. This dude just randomly gets an entirely extra tentacle, which is just a clear mistake. Whoever drew the animation in this episode forgot that Squidward only has 6 legs, which is definitely a mistake. But let's keep it moving, guys.
Check it out! Doesn't that look fun?
Season 8's Pet Sitter Pat is an interesting episode where Patrick is left in charge to watch Gary. As you can imagine, this was not a very good idea on SpongeBob's end, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about mistakes, baby. Let's get into mistake number 1. Roll the footage. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
Yellow.
Patrick and SpongeBob, how's Gary?
Gary! Oh, yeah, he's fine.
This one is super easy, guys. Like, you all should have caught this one. You don't even need me to tell ya. I'm expecting you guys to know already. But this is how a normal phone looks, right? And as you know, phones normally have 10 number digits on them, right? There's 10 number digits on an actual phone. But I don't know what kind of phone good old Grandma Squarepants is using, because look, it only has 7 number dials, which is totally a mistake. I know they're in Bikini Bottom, but we've seen phones in other episodes of SpongeBob, and they have the right number of digits, so this was definitely a mistake. It's a funny one, to be honest, but let's keep it moving and move over. So when you get old, like your big brother Corey over here, all right, your big brother cartoon Corey, I'm turning old, I'm getting old, Sundays become like a very important day. It's like your day off, because you're working all the time. So I'm not surprised that Squidward gets so annoyed at SpongeBob and Patrick for ruining his Sunday off in the episode Good Neighbors. I'm gonna get into the mistakes, as this episode has a whopping 3 mistakes, holy. But here, take a look at the plot for yourself. It's actually a really good one. We'll get into the mistakes right after, though.
Good morning, Squidward.
SpongeBob, what are you doing in my house?
I came to make sure you don't oversleep and miss work.
It's Sunday!
I feel bad for Squidward in this one. Man is busting his butt at the Krusty Krab all the time, working hard, dealing with SpongeBob, all right, dealing with Mr. Krabs and his greedy butt. And then SpongeBob and Patrick ruin his Sunday off. Poor Squidward. But guys, be prepared, as I'm about to ruin your childhood. Take a look at this mistake.
However.
What's that, Squidward?
It's Sunday! Our good neighbor doesn't bother me on Sunday!
This is another one that just makes you laugh, like, a lot, as when Squidward angrily throws SpongeBob out, he's seen wearing his regular clothes. You can see it right here, his regular OG fit. But in the very next shot, dude is now wearing his pajamas, and this happens in a matter of seconds. Like, literally, he's seen in his regular clothes, and then the scene changes, and now he's in his pajamas. Weird continuity error, but let's keep it moving, guys. I've got a couple more episodes coming up.
Target in range.
No way!
Hey, where do you want this life-size cutout of you, Mr. Krabs?
No!
Now, this next mistake can be found in the episode The Inside Job, and I'll admit it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a mistake. So hear me out real quick. Here are the clips with the mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch this one.
It's located in the heart. How cheesy.
So as you just saw, Plankton can be seen sliding down SpongeBob's spine. However, SpongeBob should not even have a spine, guys, because he's a sponge, and sponges are invertebrates. This is also a cartoon though, so I'm definitely overthinking this one, but I still wanted to include it. Like SpongeBob, if he was a legitimate sponge, like a sea sponge, he wouldn't have a spine. So let's move on to the next episode, which has much better mistakes than this one. These next mistakes are amazing. Some of my favorite characters in SpongeBob lore are the superhero or supervillain characters, especially Man Ray or the Dirty Bubble, which is why I especially love the episode Dirty Bubble Returns, which is about the Dirty Bubble actually being a character again in the show. Here are some hilarious clips from the episode.
Dirt. Beautiful dirt.
It's a funny episode, right? It's got some really funny clips, and it's awesome to see the Dirty Bubble back in action. But what isn't so nice to see is the mistake in this episode. It's very, very subtle and easy to miss, but the mistake itself is actually really bad. Here's the clip. So throughout this episode, we'll get clips of these like comic panels that relate to what's going on. And in the last Dirty Bubble Returns comic panel, when SpongeBob hugs Clean Bubble, his right arm and hand are transparent. Like, look at that, dude. His right arm and hand are just see-through. The animators completely forgot to color it in, and that is a blatant mistake. That's a bad mistake. First up is Squiditis, an episode from season 8 that I'm kind of mixed on. It's somewhat of a meh episode in my opinion, but it also has some funny moments. But of course, what we're really here to talk about when it comes to this episode are the mistakes. Here's the first one.
Do you guys hear what's going on back there?
Yes, and I'm very puzzled.
So am I. In fact, I might even be a little concerned.
Sorry, I think I might be coming down with something.
Coming down with something?
I refuse to be served by a sick fry cook.
Me too. Let's get out of here.
Good idea.
Did you guys hear that? Well, don't worry, if you missed it, I've got you covered. So when we first hear Incidental 41 and Incidental 107 speak, they sound like this. Here's Incidental 41's voice, a quick clip of it.
So am I. In fact, I might even be a little concerned.
And here's Incidental 107's voice, a quick clip of it.
Do you guys hear what's going on back there?
Well, here's the issue. As eventually in the episode, when SpongeBob says he might be coming down with something, Incidental 41 and Incidental 107 have now randomly swapped voices. Here, listen again.
I refuse to be served by a sick fry cook.
Me too. Let's get out of here.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's a weird mistake, dude. You can tell like the animators or editors got the two lines mixed up. It's a funny mistake, and hey, there's more. Here's another mistake from the same episode.
Just what is that supposed to be?
This? Oh, it's a number 2. Krabby Patty with cheese, medium drink, regular...
Not that. The thing on your face.
Were you guys able to catch it? Well, SpongeBob says that the order for table 3 is a Krabby Patty with cheese, as you just heard. But let's actually take a look at the Krabby Patty, as there ain't any cheese on that thing at all. There's no cheese. Like, I like cheese and it's missing. The only thing on that patty is lettuce, resulting in this weird mistake. I mean, SpongeBob literally says that it's a Krabby Patty with cheese, but I guess the animators forgot about this, as when they drew the Krabby Patty, it does not have any cheese. Now I'm kind of hungry. Okay, let's stay on track. Let's head over to another episode. You will not believe some of the mistakes coming up, guys. Stay tuned. Next up is Face Freeze, another episode from season 8 that in my opinion is actually kind of spooky. We're gonna get into the mistakes, but take a look at some of these scenes of SpongeBob and Patrick changing their faces around. Like I said, we'll get to the mistakes, but just some funny clips first. Dude, they were making some weird faces, and it's funny that their faces get frozen like that. But anyways, it's time for the mistakes. It's what you guys clicked on. Here's the first one.
Onion juice! Ah!
Come on, SpongeBob, chop chop!
Okay.
Did you guys catch it? Well, during this scene where Squidward ducks behind this wall after saying chop chop, our boy seems to be clipping through the wall. I'm zooming in right here, you guys can see it, but Squidward is just going through the wall. He should be behind it or in front of it, but his body's clipping through it, which is an animation glitch. And there's more from this episode. Here's another mistake.
Sound? It's the sound of me money being flushed down the toilet! SpongeBob! Why aren't you man in the fryer?
Sorry, sir, I got carried away.
Did you guys catch that? Take a look at this random shot of the inside of the Krusty Krab. Normally it looks like this, and what you really want to pay attention to is the Krusty Krab cash register in this window. As in Face Freeze, during this scene where the camera pans to Mr. Krabs' office, both the Krusty Krab cash register and the window are just missing. They're gone. Like I said, as you can see in this shot of the Krusty Krab from another episode, the Krusty Krab cash register and the window are there. But in this one scene from Face Freeze, they're both gone. Okay, I've got one more mistake from this episode. Take a look at this. Here's a quick hint. It has to do with the character Fred.
Cold day in November. And in Bikini Bottom lived a man who loved to make faces. And the one he liked best was to stick his tongue out. But what he really liked was sticking his tongue out at people.
Only hardcore SpongeBob fans will even catch this. But normally Fred, in any other episode, here's a random shot of him, he looks like this, with his lips being the same color as his skin. But for some reason in this episode, they're like the same color as his limbs and dorsal fin, which is totally a mistake. Like I said, normally Fred looks like this, more specifically his lips look like this, but in this episode, it's completely off and they look like this. Crazy, man. Let's keep it moving though and head over to another SpongeBob episode. Let's go back in time and talk about a classic episode from the early days of SpongeBob. I'm talking about Patty Hype. What a nostalgic episode, but guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna ruin your childhoods. This episode has a lot of mistakes. Here's the first one.
Your dumb pretty patties turned my face purple!
Look what I got under me, kill!
And look at our tongues!
What's wrong with you?
We want our money back.
So this one's gonna need some explaining, some context, okay? So at the ending of this episode, Patty Hype, the big reveal is that there's a side effect to eating pretty patties. They look pretty and they look delicious, but they turn your skin into a different color and just cause all sorts of mutations. And one of the Pretty Patties victims is this Scottish fellow right here, with Pretty Patties turning his legs plaid. Well, the animators messed up a little bit here, as yes, under his kilt, it's revealed that his legs were turned plaid by the patties. But if we watch in slow motion, before he even pulled his kilt up, take a look at his legs as they're his normal color. I don't think that the animators really considered this, right? The thought was that he would pull up his kilt and you'd see that the Pretty Patties changed his legs to this, but if you watch the whole scene, his legs are actually like normal. They're the normal color. They only turn plaid once he pulls up his kilt. Weird, dude. And here's another mistake from the same episode.
I'm ready for me money. Welcome to Pretty Patties. May I take your money?
We want a refund, Krabs.
Your dumb Pretty Patties turned my face purple!
This one is just really, really weird. I don't know what they were doing when they animated this scene in this episode. First things first though, here's like a random PNG of Incidental 37A, okay? This is how he looks. He's actually a fairly iconic Incidental. Like, look at those shorts. Those shorts are iconic. Well, a major mess up was made with this character in Patty Hype during this scene where Mr. Krabs runs away from his stand as everybody like surrounds him and gets mad. As if we look in the bottom right corner, we can see Incidental 37A in Mrs. Puff's clothing for some reason. For one, that is definitely not Mrs. Puff. Look at how skinny they are. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Mrs. Puff. But there are other scenes in this episode that kind of prove to us that this is 37A, Incidental 37A. So this was a massive mistake. Normally he looks like this, but in this episode he looks like this, which is again a massive mistake. Let's keep the video going though, guys. I've got plenty of crazy mistakes coming up in other episodes. Heading over to season 6, our next episode is Sandcastles in the Sand. This episode has some epic fight scenes. We're gonna get into the mistake in this episode, but before that, seriously, check out some of these amazing fight scenes between SpongeBob and Patrick.
Let's have some real fun.
What was that? Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Like I said, this episode gets pretty wild between the two. But you know what's also wild? The mistake in this episode. Take a look at this.
Get up, Patrick. It's time.
Time for what?
The big shindig, remember?
No. Besides, I don't really think my shins should be involved.
So for this one to really hit, you guys need some context. Right here, we're looking at Conch Street. So as you guys can see here on Conch Street, we have Patrick's house, SpongeBob's house, and Squidward's house. Well, it goes in the order of Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob's house. And let's take a look at SpongeBob's house, as we'll notice that there's this chimney on top. Remember this. As during this scene in Sandcastles in the Sand, when SpongeBob leaves his house, where's the chimney? It's a minor detail, but you can tell the animators forgot to draw his chimney in this one scene, which is totally a mistake, as that chimney's been there ever since the first episode. Look at this shot of SpongeBob's house from Help Wanted episode 1, and that chimney's right there. So this was a mistake, and let's keep it moving. Let's head over to another episode, guys, with some jaw-dropping mistakes. We've already talked about him a couple of times today, but who remembers this character right here, Fred? He's the dude who would always yell, "My leg."
My leg! My leg! My leg! My leg! My leg! My leg!
My leg.
My leg! My leg! My leg!
Yeah, that guy, he's iconic. Well, he got his very own episode in season 11, appropriately titled My Leg. And dude gets his leg broken a ton of times in this episode. It's revealed that he actually does it on purpose. Here are a ton of clips of him getting his leg broken in this episode. We're gonna get into the mistakes after though, but here are some of these clips.
My leg!
He's really stressing out, Dr. Charlie Horse. You're right, Fred. It's so tense.
I personally love this episode. I feel bad for Fred, but like I said, he wants to get his leg freaking broken. He's crazy. Anyways, though, it's mistake time, baby. Here's the first one.
Fred, I've got an idea. Why don't we hurt your leg so you can be reunited with your lady fair?
This first one is bad, dude. But during this scene where SpongeBob turns into a heart, take a look at one of these red hearts right here as it clips through Fred. Literally, dude, it's like going through his body, which is totally an animation mistake. The layer of the heart is supposed to be either on top of him or behind him, but yeah, in this shot, it's clipping right through his body. Like I said, it's bad. And here's another mistake.
Watch this.
He's really stressing out, Dr. Charlie Horse.
This one isn't as bad, but so going back over to Fred over here, throughout the series, Fred is never seen with shoes. He just never wears shoes. And even in this episode, he doesn't really wear shoes, but the animator slipped up, and in one scene only, is this healer scene right here. Look, he's randomly wearing shoes. He isn't wearing shoes after this, so just yeah. It might not sound like a mistake, but in terms of the character's design, it's a continuity mistake. Okay, you guys know the drill. Let's head over to another episode with some spicy mistakes. Up next is Fear of a Krabby Patty from season 4. Before we get into the mistakes, here are some spooky scenes from this episode. Then we'll get into the mistakes right after, so stay tuned.
654. 8,120. 8,650.
Wait, what's going on? Whoa!
Things get pretty creepy in this episode, dude, but things also get pretty rough in terms of animation. Well, not really. This episode is beautifully animated, but you know me.
Oh, you're right. I better get back to work. Thanks for everything, Doc.
No, it's a lie. Therapy doesn't really work. You're still sick. Very sick.
Did you guys catch it? Like I said, I have no idea how the animators missed this. But take a look at some of these shots right here. As you can see, the Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket have always been across from one another. It's like a major thing in SpongeBob. Since like the first season, these two have been across the street. Well, sometimes the animators forget this, most notably in Fear of a Krabby Patty. As when SpongeBob leaves the Chum Bucket in this episode, look, the Krusty Krab should be across the street. But that thing is missing. Ain't nobody getting a Krabby Patty because the Krusty Krab just doesn't exist anymore. Again, look at some of these clips. It's supposed to be right there across the street, but yeah, major mistake. Let's kick things off with a very gross episode, Fungus Among Us, which the title can already give you an idea of what's going on in this episode. Here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Stop! You're pushing out more of the egg!
Did you guys catch it? Well, the mistake revolves around this incidental right here, this background character known as Fancy Fish. Now, normally with incidentals, they have like a skin color and then they wear clothes. But the clothing is never like the same color as their skin, right? Well, if we take a look at Fancy Fish as they're jumping onto SpongeBob, his skin is actually the same color as the sleeves of his shirt, which is totally a mistake. As like I said, right? Like the clothing is never the same color as the skin of these characters, or else it would make it look like the clothing is their skin. So by SpongeBob's rules, this is totally a mistake. And guys, here's an even worse mistake from the same episode.
They show up every day of the week, clean and disease-free.
Sorry I'm late, Mr. Krabs. SpongeBob SquarePants returning for duty, sir.
This one's a quick one, but when SpongeBob says, SpongeBob SquarePants returning for duty, sir, take a look at this dork's sleeves, as they're colored yellow instead of white. I don't think I need to explain this. Here's a random shot of SpongeBob. Normally his sleeves are white, but in this scene, they're yellow, which is totally a mistake. And there's more. Another mistake in this episode. Look at this.
Who are you people? I wanna go home!
You are home, SpongeBob. You just need to stay in this bubble until the ick clears up.
Where's my snail, Gary?
We've taken care of your pet.
Last one from this episode, but after SpongeBob gets literally kidnapped from the Krusty Krab and is put into isolation, he says, "Where's my snail Gary?" And if we look at his clothing, look at his side belt, it's missing. Normally SpongeBob's belt goes like all around him, but in this one shot, the side part of his belt is gone. The animators just did not draw it. Hey, mistakes happen, and guys, we've got plenty more coming up, mistakes you don't want to miss. I know, you guys primarily watch our videos for SpongeBob, but guys, The Loud House is really good. It's also made by Nickelodeon, and the show is really connected to SpongeBob. So don't click off yet, guys, please. I promise we're gonna get back to SpongeBob, but you don't want to miss these mistakes in Along Came a Sister. It's a good episode, but the mistakes are bad.
Hey, Frank! Frank! Over here, buddy! So cool! Now, before we pack up, I need a volunteer to look after Frank this weekend while I'm out of town.
For this one to make sense, you guys gotta know who these characters are. This guy right here is Frank, and this is how his eyes look, alright? Yellow with black pupils. But during multiple scenes, for example, this one right here, Frank's eyes are just completely black, like the animators were too lazy to give them the regular color and just gave him entirely black eyes. It's pretty rough, and here's another mistake from the same episode.
Now, before we pack up, I need a volunteer to look after Frank this weekend while I'm out of town.
Come on, please, Mrs. John. Me!
Lincoln.
Yes! Way to go, Lincoln!
You probably caught it yourselves, but this one's an audio error, as during Clyde's line, "Way to go, LinkedIn," if you look at Clyde, his lips don't actually move when he says this. The audio comes out, but his mouth just doesn't move. Okay, we're going back to SpongeBob, guys. I know it's what you want. Let's head back to Bikini Bottom, baby. Let's jump into season 7 of SpongeBob, starting with the episode I Heart Dancing. This episode definitely ain't good, but it also isn't bad. I'd say it's more of a mid-episode. What we're really here to talk about, though, is this mistake. Take a look at this.
Let's move on to our first dance lesson. I want you to moonwalk on this treadmill while I read this entire...
Did you guys catch it? It has to do with these portraits of Squidward hung up in his house. There are at least 3 of the same picture, okay? And the issue is that the background of those pictures change. First, they're purple, as you can see in this shot. But then there are multiple times where they change to green, making for an interesting mistake. I mean, the background of the pictures isn't gonna randomly change. That was 100% a coloring error by the animators. I mean, just look again. In this shot, it's purple, the background, but then in this shot, it's green. Let's keep it moving though. Here's another mistake from this episode. There are a lot in this episode.
Listen, you pea brain, we are gonna keep working on your routine until you get it right. And I don't care how long it takes. Now watch closely.
This is another really bad one, and it has to do with Squidward. So soon after SpongeBob's cane dance, look at our boy, he's dancing up a storm. If we look at Squidward, his nose turns entirely transparent for 1 frame, meaning the animators, for only 1 frame I guess, didn't color in his nose. Like, look at how bad that looks. I'm sorry, but nobody's nose is going to be see-through. There are a couple of other mistakes in this episode, but none of them compare to the mistakes in this next episode we're going to be talking about. So let's head over to that episode. Mr. Krabs has had a lot of weird schemes over the years. I mean, remember the Krusty Krab food truck? Yeah, weird, but the idea he goes for in the season 8 episode, Drive-Thru, is actually a good one. The episode name kind of gives it away, as the Krusty Krab gets a drive-thru. Like I said, kind of a good business concept, and it makes for a good plot. I'm gonna get to the mistakes, of course. There's a lot of bad ones in this episode, but here, real quick, take a look at these funny clips from the episode.
Hello? Is this stupid thing on? Mr. Squidward! Any customers?
None that I can hear.
Ooh, here comes one now!
Hey!
Go around! Go around!
Large Krabby Patty with fries, please.
With fries, got it.
This is a really good episode, and it's one of the last few good episodes before SpongeBob got really bad back in season 8. Here's the first mistake, though. I know that's what you guys really want.
Thanks again for taking us to the Krusty Krab, Dad.
Yeah, Mom never brings us here.
Anytime, kids.
What the?
Careful now.
Hey, you guys put in a drive-thru.
We did?
Great.
Did you guys catch it? As it has to do with the design of the Krusty Krab. During the beginning, when this fish is driving around the Krusty Krab, something is missing. Here, I'll give you guys a chance to figure it out again. Look at this shot of the Krusty Krab, look at it, and now look at this shot from Drive-Thru. You guys probably got it now, but the antenna, which is normally here, is missing in Drive-Thru. Here's another mistake.
I'll have 3 large Krabby Patties, Krabby Fries, a Krabby Cola, and 2 extra large orders of Krabby Rings. Is this toothpaste?
Boy, I don't know how I think of this stuff, but I think I got a winner. We are putting in a drive-thru.
This next mistake is one of the ones that really makes me shake my head. As after Incidental 42 notices that there's toothpaste on the hole, let's look at SpongeBob as his body is completely glitched out, with his body overlapping his arm. It's the arm on his left and on our right, but you can see that that arm, the layer for it in terms of art, is like underneath his body. Like, I'm zooming in, guys, look at how weird that is. Yeah, that one is just brutal, but let's keep the video going, guys. Lots of insane mistakes coming up. Here's another quick mistake from a show that isn't SpongeBob. We're gonna be talking about The Amazing World of Gumball. This show is so much fun. The episode is The Boss, and let's see if you guys can spot this mistake. It has to do with a background detail. There's your hint.
Well, Mr. Robertson, your resume is 3 sentences long and every letter is in a different color. Perhaps you might like to add something.
I've got excellent communication skills.
Clearly.
Were you guys able to catch it? Well, if not, I got you covered. Let me help you out. So in this scene, when Mr. Shinex is interviewing Rocky, there's a plaque in the background that's supposed to say operating. Now, operating is spelled O-P-E-R-A-T-I-N-G. But if we look on this actual plaque, it's misspelled. Again, this is how operating is supposed to be spelled, and then they just completely butcher it right here, making for a really funny mistake. And let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. Let's go, gang. The next mistake we'll be talking about is good old what's his name, and we're gonna dive right into it, but first here are some hilarious clips from this episode. You don't want to miss these mistakes though, they're really bad, so hang tight.
Meaning, if you call the customers by their name, they keep coming back to spend more of them greenbacks. So I want you two to learn the names of every customer.
I have an important life to live, and it doesn't include chattering with you two ninnies.
I thought you might say that, so I decided to turn this into a contest.
Come on, guys, you had to catch that one. If you didn't though, let me explain. So in the one scene where Mr. Krabs talks to both SpongeBob and Squidward at the same time, if we watch during this frame, one of his hands is just missing. Like, where is that dude's hand? He needs those hands to count all of his money that he's obsessed with, so yeah. Major mistake here, and here's another one.
Holy sea cow! That hooligan ran a stop sign!
Stop, thief!
You know that guy?
Hardly. He stole my wallet.
What? That makes him a dual offender. Let's get him.
Yeah, this one's gonna crack you guys up a little bit. So as you guys just seen, the Bikini Bottom police are against littering, all right? It's like a crime. Like, they go to chase down Squidward, but look, if you actually watch, the cop technically litters himself by dropping his donut on the sidewalk before chasing Squidward. So this dude right here, hypocrite. Major hypocrite. What's he talking about? You literally just littered and threw your donut on the ground. A perfectly good donut, by the way. Yeah, like I said, this one was funny. This one actually made me laugh a little bit. I love when SpongeBob dives into like the backstory of Mr. Krabs, and that's exactly what happens in season 4's Shell of a Man. We're gonna get into the mistakes, but take a look for yourself. The plot's pretty interesting.
Are you sleepy?
Mr. Krabs!
I don't smell his pulse.
Don't look at me!
Mr. Krabs?
Leave me be!
You're alive! And naked.
It's true. I've molted.
What?
Go give the episode a watch after you're done watching this video, of course. Like, don't click off of this video, but after you're done watching this video, go watch the episode. For now, though, here's the mistakes.
Perfection.
Is number 5's order ready yet, SpongeBob?
Just a second, Squidward. Well, Krabby Patty, it's time for you to go now. You grew up so fast, I Oh, I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Just take it, Squidward, take it away!
So at the beginning of the episode, we get order number 5, which of course is a good old-fashioned Krabby Patty. I personally want one right now. At first, it looks like this. Remember this, alright? It looks like this. But literally, in the next shot, look at it now, as it looks like very different. It looks like almost an entirely different Krabby Patty.
Gary, I knew you weren't disease-ridden. You still love me? Good old Gary's back.
Pretty weird, huh? Well, if you didn't catch it, I got you covered, don't worry. So, during this scene where SpongeBob says, "I knew you weren't disease-ridden," take a look at Incidental 27's shirt. More specifically, the sleeves, as at first it was purple, but for this one spot, it just randomly turns blue. I'm sorry guys, but your clothing doesn't just randomly change color. First his sleeve was purple, now it's just randomly blue. The animators messed up. And to make things worse, it changes back to purple again. But alright, here's another mistake from this episode. So this elderly lady right here, okay, as you can see, she's wearing this beautiful dress and it's purple. But if we watch closely during this scene where these zombies are chasing SpongeBob, poor SpongeBob, that old lady's dress, like I said, it was purple, is now green. It just randomly changed colors, which is yet again another animation mistake. The animators first drew her with this purple dress, but I guess they forgot because they then drew her with a green one. Like seconds later, too. Lots of mistakes in this episode, and guess what, guys? There's another one. Roll the footage.
Gary, how could you?
This is definitely the worst one in this episode. This one's just bad. So, when SpongeBob says, "Gary, how could you?" Take a look at his legs. Well, you can't because SpongeBob's legs are missing. We only know this because of this small sliver at the bottom of the frame or the screen, but as you can see, SpongeBob's legs should be right there, but they're not. How in the world did the animators draw SpongeBob without his legs? Crazy, dude. But let's keep it moving, guys. You won't believe some of the mistakes that are coming up. Let's head over to another episode.
This job stinks.
This next one is a quick one, so let's, keep it quick. It's in the episode Perfect Chemistry. Take a look at this. Let's see if you guys can catch this mistake.
Interesting. The Krabby Patty formula will be mine! I mean, I think I have the right parts in my lab, maybe.
Weird!
This one's obvious if you're like a hardcore SpongeBob fan. I can see some people missing it, but take a look at this scene from the iconic episode Tea at the Tree Dome.
There's no water in here!
I tried to tell you!
If y'all needed water, you should have asked.
Okay, so now the mistake should be very clear. So as you guys seen in the original clip from Perfect Chemistry, Plankton transports himself into Sandy's tree dome. But there's something missing. Well, Plankton's a sea creature, so just like SpongeBob and Patrick, he needs an air helmet or he'll literally you guys know what will happen. It won't be good. Without that helmet, Plankton's gonna end up like Smitty Worden Man Jensen from One Crab's Trash in that graveyard, baby. All right, let's keep it moving and head over to another episode.
I drew this for you. The likeness is uncanny, if I do say so myself.
Next up, coming in hot, is the episode That's No Lady, an episode all about Patrick becoming a woman so he doesn't get kicked out of Bikini Bottom. It's funny, but what's more funny are the mistakes in this episode. They're very spicy. Here's the first one.
Nope. No way. No. No. No.
Were you guys able to catch it? Because if you look at Incidental 37A's eyes over here during this scene where Patrick shouts no, his eyes are looking pretty goofy. Those eyes are tweaking. This dude's bugging. Yeah, Incidental 37A's eyes are misaligned, which is a really bad animation mistake here. And guys, here's another one.
You forgot your flyer.
Get out of town to beautiful Sunny Shore Resorts.
Listen up, because this one's weird and requires you guys to really pay attention for it to make sense. So, when the first display of the vacation paper is shown, it reads, "To beautiful Seashore Resort." Remember this, it's important, okay? To beautiful seashore resort. Well, if you watch as the scene progresses and SpongeBob looks at the paper, it changes randomly. And now it says to beautiful sunny shore resorts. At first, there was no S at the ending of resorts. But then literally like seconds later when SpongeBob looks at it, there's now an S randomly added, which is again, totally a mistake. It's not that big of a deal, but like, how did this mistake even happen? Okay, here's another one from That Snow Lady. This one is a good one.
Must have something to do with this disguise. I can't wear this any longer.
Or if you reveal your secret identity, you'll have to leave Bikini Bottom.
As I mentioned before, a big part of the plot of this episode is Patrick dressing up as this beautiful woman. And as you can see, he rocks this green skirt right here. My boy's dripping. Or I guess my girl's dripping. Well, if we watch during this scene, when Patrick is crying over his new identity, that green skirt actually turns yellow for a fraction of a second before changing back, which seems to be more of like an animation glitch. I don't think like the animators did this. I think like when rendering this episode or something, it glitched out and it turns yellow for like just a fraction of a second. It's still technically a mistake though. And guys, we've got more, so don't click off yet. The mistakes coming up are unbelievable.
Patrick, Ernie's gone.
No, he's not. He's everywhere.
You know, with all of the criticism that Camp Coral gets, I'm not surprised with how many mistakes are actually in the show. It is weird though, considering it's 3D animated. I say this all the time, 2D animated shows, guys, have way more of a chance of having mistakes because it's drawn digitally, whereas 3D animated shows are like 3D models, so it's weird. But anyways, the episode is Prisky Pests, and here's the mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Take a look.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Good night, Patrick. Good night, Ernie.
Now, to be honest, this one's very minor. It's not that big of a deal. It's not gonna blow your brain like some of the other mistakes I'll be covering later on in the video, so stay tuned. But when SpongeBob tells Ernie good night, take a look at Patrick's mouth, as both SpongeBob and Patrick's mouths move to SpongeBob's line, but if you listen, Patrick doesn't actually say anything, so his mouth moves despite Patrick saying nothing. Literally nothing's coming out of that mouth. So I don't know why they animated his mouth to move. It was most likely a mistake. Hey, like I said at the beginning, I was honest, it's not that big of a deal, but this next mistake we're gonna be covering in another episode, that you don't wanna miss. The season 4 episode, Squidtastic Voyage, is a pretty fun episode with SpongeBob and Patrick going inside Squidward's body. Take a look at some of these scenes and then we'll get into the mistakes.
As long as someone competent is behind the wheel. What's that?
Shrink. I do have a lot of issues.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode personally. It's a good one. But what I did not enjoy are the mistakes in this episode. I doubt the animators like them very much either, or Nickelodeon. Let's see if you guys can spot them.
Now's my chance to try out my new invention.
Up. Reporting for guard duty.
Okay, listen, because this is another like complicated one where you guys need to pay close attention. So in this first scene where the submarine is unveiled, we can see that the submarine is standing up on this like open platform. Okay, remember this, and look at the background, okay? Remember how all of this looks. This is the room where the submarine sits. Well, is it? Because it randomly changes. As later, when SpongeBob is guarding the submarine, the entire environment in room has changed. It's no longer up on an open platform, and it's now just in this room. Here's a side-by-side so you guys can see. It's kind of a weird mistake, but it's still a mistake. And here's another one from this episode.
Always wanting to do it the hard way. We're all set, Squidward. Are you ready for the sedative?
Are you sure this is safe?
This one is much, much, much worse. Take a look at Sandy over here, guys. What's missing? Yeah, our girl's tail is completely gone, and that's a massive part of her design. This mistake happens every once in a while, and it's a bad one. Not as bad as the next mistake in this upcoming episode, though. Let's move over there. Let's talk about some modern SpongeBob from season 9. The episode I'm talking about is Squid Plus One. Take a look at some of these hilarious scenes from this episode. This is a banger.
I thought you were some other idiot.
I guess I'm just this idiot.
That simpering buffoon. You have a great vocabulary. I know, indubitably.
Dude, I told you, it's really funny. What's not funny, though, are the mistakes in this episode. I know I use that segue all the time, but seriously, dude, take a look at this.
Sparkling kelp juice. Here's to me. Oh, That simpering buffoon!
I said mistakes, but there's actually only one, and it's pretty rough. But for a split second, Squidward's iconic wrinkles on his forehead, they've been there since his debut in season 1. Yeah, those wrinkles normally found on his forehead completely disappear during this scene where the doorbell rings. Pretty weird, huh? Well, we've got another one. Let's keep it moving. Next up is the slumber party, an episode all about Pearl wanting to have a slumber party, but Mr. Krabs being cheap, dude. Take a look at this. Look at the beginning of this episode. Mr. Krabs is cheap.
Have your allowance early.
Ketchup!
See, you put it on the crackers, and mamma mia, you got a spicy pizza pie.
Dude, he wanted to use ketchup as tomato sauce for pizza. Like, Mr. Krabs, you're a bad father, man. Jeez. All right, mistake time. Here's the first one.
Everyone having a good time? Yeah! Well, you can all thank my dad for making this possible.
Okay, so there's actually 2 mistakes in this one scene. During this beach party scene at the very ending of the episode, for one, we can see Flats the Flounder over here, but he's actually incorrectly colored as blue. Now look, incidental color changes are fairly common. It's still a mistake when it happens, but they're fairly common. Flats, on the other hand, is like a known character. So this is kind of inexcusable and it looks really weird. Like, why is he blue? That's not how he's supposed to look. This is how he's supposed to look, and this is a mistake. And like I said, that's not it for the scene, as if we look at the stage, there's this fish right here cheering, wearing a yellow shirt. But there's something missing. Yeah, his eyes are just completely not there. They're gone. Where is this dude's eyes? I'm zooming in. Where are they?
I feel like I need to scrub myself.
Hey, buddy, I warmed it up for you.
Patrick!
First up is a very iconic episode from season 1, that being Naughty Nautical Neighbors. I love this episode. I'm about to ruin some childhoods though, as here's the first mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Are you kidding? I've been playing bassinet for years. Squidward.
Likes Patrick more than SpongeBob.
Come on, I know you guys were able to catch that. If you didn't though, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. Let me break this first mistake down. So as you guys just saw in that scene, SpongeBob and Patrick are competing to be friends with Squidward, with SpongeBob claiming he can play bass, that way he can rock out with Squidward while Squidward's on the clarinet. Now, as this is happening, we can see this window in the background, okay? And what's important here is this isn't a normal window. There isn't any glass. It's just literally a hole in the wall. Remember this, there's no glass. Well, we have quite the continuity error here, as when Patrick eventually spoils their fun, this window has completely changed. It's like transformed into a regular glass window with even a hinge on the side. I mean, at first it looked like this, it was just a hole in the wall, but then it just turned into a real window. Talk about a really bad continuity error, guys. Like, this one's bad. And here's another mistake.
So this is what I find, huh? My best friend and my ex-best friend and rubber bath toys!
This one is admittedly not that big of a deal, but it is still a mistake. So, in this scene where SpongeBob catches Squidward and Patrick in the bathroom, like in the bathtub, we can see this sailboat toy in the bathtub. Now, just as SpongeBob says, so this is what I find, huh? This sailboat glitches out for a second and turns blue. Again, it's not that big of a deal, but it's not supposed to do that. This was like an animation glitch where it flashes for a second. Here's it again really quickly in slow motion. Weird, right? Like I told you. Let's move over to another episode though. These upcoming mistakes are really going to be unexpected. Be prepared, guys.
Fresh jellyfish jelly coming right up. Typical.
Next up, we've got a very, very quick mistake from the Camp Coral episode, Quest for Tyre. I'm gonna keep this section quick as I know a lot of you guys like SpongeBob over Camp Coral. Here's the mistake though, take a look at this. So throughout this episode, Patrick over here wears like a bandana on his head, okay? And as you can see, it's purple. However, seconds later, when the truck drives towards Patrick, look, like I said, that bandana was originally purple. But in this one shot, why is it red? Patrick didn't change bandanas in a matter of seconds. This was a mistake. This one's weird though, because Camp Coral is 3D animation, so that bandana would have been a 3D model. So how it changed colors is beyond me. But anyways, like I said, this section's gonna be quick. Let's head back over to good old-fashioned SpongeBob, baby.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, don't matter anyway, lad. She can't close us down. She closed us down! I'm ruined!
Let's talk about an episode from season 5. The episode is Band in Bikini Bottom. There are a ton of mistakes in this episode, like a lot. Here's the first one.
Look at this wild hooligan.
This one requires you guys to really pay attention, so listen closely. This character right here is Miss Grusselpuss. She has a very big role in this episode, as she's the one who bans Krabby Patties from Bikini Bottom. Anyways, though, as you guys just saw, when Miss Grusselpuss over here blows her whistle, we can see that the whistle is connected to this black lanyard around her neck, alright? It's like a necklace, and the whistle's attached at the end. Remember this, you can see it right here, as in the next scene, like seconds later, when we see her again, everything has changed. Her whistle is no longer connected to a black lanyard, and it's now randomly connected to the thread of her shirt. Again, without the lanyard's just gone. Here's a quick side-by-side, like look at how different it is. This happens in a matter of seconds and is totally a mistake, guys, and here's another one from this episode. This one's worse.
Hello, and welcome one and all your money to ye old Krusty Krab.
I know you guys had to catch that one, as at the very beginning of the episode, when Mr. Krabs greets Mrs. Grusselpuss, where is my boy's belt? It's more specifically this shot in front of the Krusty Krab, like where is his belt? In the next shot, it's back, as you can see here, but in that one shot, my boy is missing his belt. What? If you thought that was bad though, stay tuned, guys. Lots of weird mistakes coming up. Listen, guys, if you're a fan of SpongeBob, then you're definitely going to like The Loud House. The Loud House is also made by Nickelodeon and is very closely tied to SpongeBob. For example, here's a really quick Easter egg of SpongeBob in The Loud House.
And you'd be right. Every Sunday at 8, it's the same thing. I was here first!
Really cool stuff, and there's plenty more like that. So let's take a second to talk about The Loud House, and then I'll get right back to SpongeBob. For the mistake to make sense though, here's a little bit of context, okay? The mistake focuses around these two characters. Lori, she looks like this, and Lisa, who looks like this. All right, let's see if you guys can spot the mistake.
There it is!
Good morning, sir. I'm Kirby, your personal chauffeur for the day.
Did you catch it? It's really bad. So in this scene, when all of the sisters are running out of the house, if we pause at this frame, we can see that those two characters I mentioned, Lori and Lisa, are completely missing their bodies. I'm zooming in, you can see it here, those bodies are not there. They were just drawn as floating heads. How in the world do you forget to draw a character's body? I guess it's because of the type of shot it is, where there's a ton of characters on screen, but yeah, pretty bad. Let's head back over to SpongeBob though. The season 6 episode, Krabby Road, that season is rough, dude. It has some really bad moments, but Krabby Road is pretty good. Here are some really funny moments from the episode. We'll get into the mistakes right after.
Perhaps you didn't notice my new hairdo. What's this?
Dude, the idea of SpongeBob, Plankton, and just everybody starting a band is hilarious, and some of their outfits is just so funny. Look at Plankton, he looks like a classic rocker. Anyways though, it's mistake time, baby. Let's get into these mistakes.
My perfect dream body.
So this first one is a nitpick. It's technically a mistake though still, but let's take a look at SpongeBob's house, okay? From any other episode. This is how it looks, okay? Pay attention to the door and the size of the door. Well, in Krabby Road, take a look at SpongeBob's house again, as what in the world is going on with his door? It's like almost half the size of the house. Again, for reminder, look at this shot of his house from literally any other episode. It doesn't look like that. In this episode though, it's just really weird. That door is massive, and it's totally a mistake. It never looks like this, dude. Like, this one is just so strange. That is a big door. Here's another big mistake from this episode, though. This one's spicy.
You incompetent fool! Yes, the Krabby Patty formula is mine! I mean, we'll have a great time!
I have no idea how I caught this mistake, but listen closely. So when Plankton unlocks the door to the Krusty Krab, take a look at the key. That key is horizontal, as you can see right here, all right? It's horizontal. But as the scene progresses and we see the key again, now it's vertical. At first it was horizontal, now it's vertical, which is an understandable continuity error, but it's still a weird one. Lots of weird mistakes in this episode, huh? Like, they're not the normal types of mistakes we normally cover. These ones are just weird, like the door being huge.
Pardon me, Earth. You'll need to scooch over a bit. Woo! Bad meteor, bad!
The season 13 finale episode, Sandy Help Us. And your boy Cartoon Corey has already found a mistake. Take a look at this.
A giant meteor is headed straight for Earth. You're the only one that can save us.
You can count on me, sir!
So for this one to hit, let's take a look at Sandy right here. This mistake is fairly often, so you guys might already recognize it, but Sandy always has this badge on her suit with an acorn on it, okay? It's this right here. Well, when Sandy is flying and the computer screen comes out of her arm, we get this one angle and her badge should be there, but it's missing. The animators just forgot to draw it, or due to the nature of the scene, they just didn't draw it to be lazy or to save time. The mistake is only really during this angle anyways, as it should be visible right there. Like, I'm circling it, this is where it should be. But anyways, let's head over to another episode. You guys won't believe the mistakes in this upcoming episode.
One wrong move and you'll blow the whole ocean sky high. The good times never last.
Let's head back over to season 13. The episode is Karen for Spot. And here, take a look at this first mistake. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
Well, I'm still a little mad.
This is a really weird one. So as SpongeBob, Gary, Plankton, and Karen are starting to laugh, we can see that they're on the Chum bucket. We can see it in the background, like look here, here, and even before this, I'm pretty sure it shows them being like on the Chum bucket. But as the camera starts to zoom out, they have like completely teleported as they are not on the Chum bucket anymore. Like I said, at first you could see they were on the Chum bucket, but now when it zooms out, they're just not there anymore, which is a really bad mistake. I don't know if it's as bad as this other one though. This one's rough.
So ones and zeros with you, honey. You probably made Spot bigger than me on purpose to make me feel small.
You guys probably caught it, but as Plankton and Karen argue, where is Plankton's mouth? The dude is always yapping on about stealing the Krabby Patty's secret formula, so his mouth is kind of important. He needs that so he can complain. But yeah, his mouth is missing, totally a mistake, and it's actually like really bad. How do you forget to draw somebody's mouth? Mistakes happen though, let's keep it moving, gang. Hey, I've got another season 13 episode for you guys. The episode is Salty Sponge, and before we get into the mistakes, here's a couple of funny clips from the episode.
Still better than working with SpongeBob.
You just gotta look tough.
I don't feel tough, Mr. Krabs.
This one's a good one, as it's really cool to see nostalgic references like this. Like the Salty Spittoon first premiered or debuted back in season 1, 2, or 3, I'm pretty sure, so that's pretty rad. What isn't so cool though is the mistake in this episode. There's only one, but take a look at this.
I will get a thrill, cooking patties on my grill.
Krusty.
So, in this far out shot of the Krusty Krab, we can hear SpongeBob talking, but if we zoom in a little bit, and we really pay attention to SpongeBob, we can see that his mouth is not actually moving when he's talking. Here's the same clip with audio again, but we're gonna keep zoomed in on SpongeBob, and you'll see his mouth does not move.
I will get a thrill, cooking patties on my grill.
Krusty.
Yeah, that boy's mouth was not moving at all, which is a really bad mistake if you think about it, guys. Like, that's a rough one. But let's head over to another episode with an even worse mistake. I know I say that, guys, but they get worse as we go. This next one's from season 12. It's the episode Senior Discount, and again, it has tons of really funny scenes. Here are some hilarious scenes from this episode. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss these, and then as always, we'll get into the mistakes right after.
Defend the family's honor.
Respect your elders.
So, this dude right here is Grandpa Redbeard, and he's only appeared in like 2 episodes, Senior Discount and Grandpappy the Pirate. But in Senior Discount, they made a massive mistake with his design. Normally, with Grandpa Redbeard's design, his nose is red, just like Mr. Krabs. But in this one shot when Grandpa Redbeard is talking to Grandpa Jenkins, look at Redbeard's nose, as it's miscolored to the same color as his beard. It's like they thought when they were doing the coloring that his nose was a part of his beard. Massive mistake. And there's another one. Look at this.
Vacate the premises!
Yeah, so when the ancestors kick Mr. Krabs and Old Man Jenkins out, Mr. Krabs' eyelashes are transparent for 1 frame. And if we look at this same scene, the enter sign, here's a shot of the Krusty Krab from season 1. This enter sign is always right here. But during that same scene when the ancestors kick Mr. Krabs out, yeah, that enter sign is just gone. This is still a good episode, so I recommend watching it, guys, but yeah, lots of mistakes in this one that we'll definitely cover in future videos. Moving from good old-fashioned SpongeBob to the Patrick Star Show, our next episode is called the Prehistoric Patrick Star Show. It's kind of like a spin-off episode where they go back in time. It's interesting. Here's some clips. I think it's personally a really good episode.
What today's show about, Cave Squidina?
See, like I said, it's actually pretty good. I feel like the Patrick Star Show gets way too much criticism, guys. Like, the show isn't perfect, but it is a good show. It has some funny moments. But anyways, what we're here to talk about isn't funny moments. We're here to talk about mistakes. It's why you clicked on the video. So here's the first mistake from this episode. Let's see if you guys can spot it without my help.
This me cave!
Were you able to catch it? Well, when Patrick Cavestar introduces his show at the end of the theme song, part of his outfit changes and gains an extra spot. At first, the outfit looks like this, and it's pretty consistent throughout the episode. But during this one part at the end of the theme song, his outfit is looking weird, man, and it has this extra spot here, which I guess isn't that big of a deal, but it's still a continuity error, and this episode has 2. Here's the next one. Let's see if you guys can find it without me helping you guys.
Huh?
Dinosaur milk ice cream, it's edible.
This one happens fast, but when Patrick Cavestar finds a prehistoric version of Walter the Waiter selling dinosaur milk ice cream, this is a really cool reference because it's the same dude from the first SpongeBob movie, from Goofy Goobers. He makes these sundaes, as you can see right here. But anyways, when Patrick Cavestar finds him, Patrick's brown beard is just missing. It's just, they forgot to draw it during this one scene, and it's pretty funny. But let's keep the video going, guys, and head back over to SpongeBob. This next episode is hilarious. Next up is the episode House Sittin' for Sandy. This is a really good one. It's basically all about Sandy making the terrible decision of letting SpongeBob and Patrick watch her tree dome. And just, yeah, as you can imagine, SpongeBob and Patrick are not the most responsible people or fish or sponge and starfish. So yeah, it doesn't go very well. Here are some clips.
Was it me?
Yeah, this episode is crazy. Like, at one point, they accidentally activate a bunch of Sandy's robots and just, yeah, a bunch of havoc ensues. But anyways, we're here for mistakes, guys. Some spicy mistakes that you missed. I'm sure you guys missed this one. Keep those eyes peeled.
At the hands of a squirrel?
No, with a fishbowl on my head.
Eureka! It works! The experiment is a success!
Okay, so this first mistake is very complicated, so listen closely, guys, like listen carefully, all right? When Sandy aims the rubble reversal ray, SpongeBob is holding the beaker, as you can see right here, right? When Sandy fires it and SpongeBob and Patrick scream, SpongeBob is now not holding the beaker. I mean, I don't know how he just put it down, but then when the tree dome is fixed, why does SpongeBob yet again have the beaker again? It's like a weird continuity error. I am nitpicking, but this is technically like a continuity error. But let's move over to the Patrick Star Show, and this one's really good, guys. I know you guys are not expecting this mistake. Let's do it. Next episode is A Space Affair to Remember, another episode of the Patrick Star Show, as I just said. This one is pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of the plot, I guess. I mean, the episode's fun, don't get it twisted, but I don't know. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. Here are some clips summarizing the episode.
Dina and I got you reservations.
Who knew ancient Greece was so
Spacious? You cook a human. They don't even taste good.
Your mother and I had the best time we've had in years.
Well, what did you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's a good plot? I don't know. But what I know that isn't good in this episode is this mistake. There's only one, and it happens quick, but it's still a really bad mistake. Take a look.
Not at all, son. Your mother and I had the best time we've had in years. Plus, now we have this great big juicy ham!
So here's the deal. When Benny and Cecil tell Patrick about their day at the space station, half of Bunny's lipstick appears to be missing. Here's a shot of her with the lipstick normal. It covers her whole, her lips. But here's the shot where half of it's missing. I don't even know how the animators made this mistake. It's a very strange one, but yeah, it's a mistake for sure. Up next is the Season 8 episode, Bubble Troubles. This episode is all about SpongeBob and Patrick being idiots like normal because they ruin Sandy's oxygen supply. As you guys know, Sandy's a squirrel, she isn't a fish, so she needs air. And in this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick really mess up. Here are some clips of what happens.
Hurry up, SpongeBob! I'm no doctor, but I don't think squirrels are supposed to be blue.
SpongeBob, Patrick, you guys could have killed Sandy, but the mistake in this episode is really interesting. It shows that the writer of this episode needs to go back and watch old SpongeBob. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
Luckily, I have just enough air in my submarine to get to the surface and refill my air tanks.
Phew, thank goodness.
This one's bad, so be prepared, okay? In the episode, there's a point where Sandy thinks she needs to drive her submarine to the surface to get more air, right? Because they're in Bikini Bottom, it's underwater. Sandy's a squirrel, so she needs air from the surface. But here's the thing. Back in the classic iconic episode Pressure, it's confirmed that Sandy can quite literally just walk up to the shore. As you can see right now in these clips, she literally walks to the shore. So whoever wrote this episode, Bubble Troubles, needs to go back and educate themselves on OG SpongeBob. Up next is an episode with a very intriguing name, The Krabby Patty That Ate Bikini Bottom. Sounds like a horror movie. In this episode, a Krabby Patty grows too large after Sandy adds one of Sandy's scientific ingredients to it. It's a very interesting plot. I personally like this episode. Here are some clips summarizing it.
Come on!
Yeah, Mr. Krabs, you are crazy, dude. You risked everything. You risked so many people's lives just to potentially make more money with your stupid Krabby Patties. But anyways, what's also stupid in this episode is the mistakes. There's a couple of them. Let's see if you guys can spot the first one without my help.
Can I borrow your telephone? It's ringing. Did you bring a Krabby Patty?
So here's the thing. Sandy's tree dome, right? The inside of it, there's no water. There's no water at all. We kind of talked about it in the last episode, right? No water. So there should be no bubbles inside her tree dome, right? Well, take a look at some of these shots. Normally when SpongeBob characters are underwater and they move around, there'll be little bubble animations, right? But inside Sandy's tree dome, that should not happen. But during this occasion, where Mr. Krabs puts the phone down, look, why are there bubble animations? It also happens when he picks it up. Look, there's bubble animations again. So if you understand animation in SpongeBob, this is definitely a mistake. And there's more. This episode has another mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot this one.
Squidward, that giant Krabby Patty is on a rampage!
Hold it!
Now, this one is admittedly kind of a nitpick, but anyways, in the kitchen, as you can see, this monster Krabby Patty eats SpongeBob's left shoe and his sock. But when SpongeBob and Squidward try to exit the restaurant, his sock and shoe reappear for no apparent reason and remain like that for the rest of the episode. Again, it makes sense because it's a cartoon, right? But this is still a bit of a weird continuity error. Maybe SpongeBob has an extra shoe and sock in his work locker. I don't know. But let's move over to episode number 3, which has even more crazy mistakes. As you guys know, Squidward is a very depressed character. And you know, I kind of get it. Squidward is very grumpy and he can be kind of rude, but he's also very misunderstood. No one acknowledges what Squidward's good at in life, and I kind of get it. Everyone just roasts him and is mean. But anyways, our next episode is Are You Happy Now? And this episode is all about SpongeBob trying to help Squidward find a happy moment in life. It's kind of sad. Here's some clips.
I'll help you make a happiest memory.
Really? Do you think you can?
No problem.
Wow, it's against my better judgment, but okay.
Like I said, this episode's really sad. Like, Squidward just literally doesn't have a happy memory, but thank goodness for SpongeBob actually trying to be his friend. But anyways, let's get into the mistakes. This episode has 2. Here's the first one. I want to see if you guys can find it without me assisting ya.
Oops, that was a sour note.
This is not my happiest memory.
This one is pretty bad, as when SpongeBob says, oops, that was a sour note, Incidental 104, who is sitting right behind him, is missing her shirt. This is a kid show, so the fact that she's literally just sitting there without a shirt on is very inappropriate. Like, how did the animators forgot to give her a shirt, but still drew her? Let's move on to mistake number 2.
All right, let me see that. The Krusty Krab work.
This one isn't that big of a deal, I guess, but as you can see in this shot, Squidward drops the work schedule book on the grill, and it just burns immediately, like it's looking very crispy. But when it's lying on the grill while SpongeBob is reading it, why doesn't it burn? Just some weird decisions in this episode for sure. Next up is the season 8 episode, Smooth Jazz at Bikini Bottom. This episode is all about SpongeBob and Squidward trying to sneak backstage for a concert after they end up losing their passes. The concert's a Kelpie G concert, which is hilarious to me. Kelpie G is iconic. But anyways, here's some clips from the episode.
I show you the ticket, and then through some manner of folly, you destroy it!
Yeah, I love this episode. I think it's really funny, and I always love when SpongeBob and Squidward are kind of forced to like team up together. It's really funny. But what isn't so funny is the mistake in this episode. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
Now I'll finally get to meet the incomparable Kelpie. Hey, this is a private area. Only people with backstage passes can come back here.
It's very easy to miss, but when SpongeBob and Squidward are at the Kelpie G concert, they are the only ones with backstage passes, even though everyone else should also have a backstage pass, right? Like, this was such a main plot point in the episode. Why don't all of these other Squidward-looking head dudes have their own backstage passes? So yeah, weird mistake. The episode, Pat the Horse, is a very interesting episode, with it being all about Patrick wanting to become a horse. Pretty much like he sees a picture of a horse and decides that, oh, I want to become a horse. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. This is a hilarious plot. Here's some clips from the episode. It's really funny.
Fucking Bronco.
Hey, I can't blame Patrick. You know, sometimes I wake up and I just feel like being a horse that day. And hey, the dude made for a pretty good horse for the most part. But anyways, let's get into what you guys clicked on this video for, and that is some spicy SpongeBob mistakes. Now look, this first one is somewhat of an understandable mistake due to the fact that SpongeBob is 2D animated, right? Like, 2D animation is not very easy. But during this scene, where SpongeBob sees Patrick running around as a horse in SpongeBob's yard, if you take a look at Patrick's shadow, it keeps disappearing and reappearing underneath him. Here's some footage in slow motion showing this. Not that big of a deal. We have more mistakes in this episode. Let's move over to mistake number 2.
My little way!
That's me money running away! Come back!
Yeah, so as you can see here in this shot, well, this scene, a bunch of kids fall. And as you can see, the last kid to fall was first seen as light blue. You can see him right here, he's light blue, this kid. But then in a later shot, the dude just randomly changes to green, as you can see in this shot right here. I don't know how the animators even make these types of mistakes, but that kid is green now. Used to be blue, he's green now. And guys, believe it or not, this episode actually has a third mistake, so let's get right into that one. Now, to be honest, this one is not that big of a deal, and it's kind of a nitpick. Like, it's actually really hard to make out. But during this scene where Patrick eats the seaweed field, if you look at him, he's actually slightly orange, like kind of orange. He's still like pink, but you can see that his colors are just off. I don't know, man. Dude is looking way more like an orange in this one scene, so yeah. Anyways, let's move over to episode number 2, guys, which has tons of mistakes. Let's do it. Next up is a early SpongeBob classic back during the Steven Hillenburg era. As you guys know, my favorite time to be a SpongeBob fan, but the episode is Valentine's Day, which of course is all about Valentine's Day. But it isn't about SpongeBob getting something for Sandy or something. He actually gets something for his best friend Patrick, and from here, I'll let the clips explain, you know, the premise of this episode. Take a look.
Happy Valentine's Day! Here's your present.
And I have a present for you. Patrick's still trying to guess what his Valentine is. Here it is!
You got me a handshake?
Yeah! Sandy's here! Woo!
Man, SpongeBob is a really good friend. Like, the amount of commitment he went to just to like get Patrick this gift. I know they're dealing with, you know, shenanigans in this episode. There's like freaking flying clams trying to like bite the chocolate balloon. But overall, SpongeBob's a good friend and Sandy's really nice for helping. What isn't so nice though are the mistakes in this episode. Let's get right into them.
I got my ox in a ditch here. I'm way off course.
So I mentioned the chocolate balloon earlier, and that's actually a big part of the first mistake. So as you can see, this chocolate balloon has a basket attached to the bottom of it. You see it early on in the episode, you see it during many scenes in this episode. But when Sandy fights the chocolate-eating scallops off, the balloon's basket seems to be missing, only showing the string attached to it. The basket does reappear when Sandy arrives at the carnival though, but during this one shot, the basket's just gone. They forgot to draw it, I guess. The season 11 episode is good, but I'll admit the plot is very convenient and random. Pretty much, Mr. Krabs takes a vacation. I'm surprised such a cheapskate would take a vacation, but he takes one. And for some reason decides to make Larry the Lobster the temporary manager of the Krusty Krab. Well, it isn't so random actually. I'll let these clips explain why it happens. Yeah, I don't think a gym bro like Larry is a very good option as the manager of a fast food establishment, right? Like, the Krusty Krab sells like the greasiest burgers in the world, and then you're gonna have Larry come in who's like a freaking gym maniac. Anyways, let's get into what you guys clicked on the video for, and that's mistakes. Here's mistake number 1. This mistake is pretty simple, and you guys probably could have spotted it yourself. When Fred is first seen in the line at the start of the episode, he's wearing this fresh watch on his wrist, alright? He's got a Rolex on. Fred, he's ballin'. However, when he and the other customers complain about Bubble Bass taking too long to order, the watch has now just disappeared. Maybe he took it off, I don't know. He was probably afraid that Bubble Bass was gonna eat his watch. This was probably a continuity error by the animators. They probably forgot. Simple mistake. Let's head back over to the classic and best era of SpongeBob, that being season 1, with the episode SB129. I personally love this episode. It is so nostalgic to me, and there's so many cool scenes in it. Just here's some of the amazing scenes in this episode, and if you haven't watched it, go watch this episode after you're done watching this video. Anyways, here are those clips.
Future!
See, what did I tell you? This episode is awesome. It's just a really good episode and really represents the best era of SpongeBob, the Steven Hillenburg era. I say it all the time, but seriously guys, nothing compares to seasons 1, 2, and 3. Season 13's pretty good, but season 1, 2, and 3 are amazing. Anyways though, as amazing as these episodes are, there is still a mistake in this episode, and you guys are gonna keep those eyes peeled and spot it right now.
Hello?
So here's the thing, as you guys just seen, the Krusty Krab is closed in this episode, right? It's closed. I guess it's a Saturday or a Sunday, but then why were the doors unlocked? Like, how did Squidward get inside? We didn't see him use a key or anything. It's like the place was just unlocked. So, Mr. Krabs, dude, you need to lock up the Krusty Krab before that place gets robbed. Let's move over to mistake number 2. Okay, so this episode, it's really funny. Yeah, this episode is hilarious. Like, this dude moves his entire apartment into the kitchen. He brings Gary, his couch, his TV. SpongeBob, you need to chill. Work is not that serious. But what is serious is mistakes in animation, and this episode has 2. Here's the first one. Keep those eyes peeled.
Come on, man, my change!
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, well, thank you. Real.
So this first mistake isn't that big of a deal, I guess, but this character right here is Incidental 107, and at one point in the episode, he asks for his change. Now, at first, as you can see, his food and tray are right beside him, like he has his food and tray, but in the next shot, they just disappear. They're like gone. I doubt that dude ate his food that fast, and if he did, I'm kind of impressed. But what isn't so impressive is mistake number 2. Let's move over to that one. Here's some clips.
Thanks, SpongeBob. If I could reach, I'd do it myself.
Now this one is actually pretty bad in my opinion, but when Patrick walks out of the kitchen and says, "Thanks, SpongeBob," his eyebrows are actually missing for an entire frame. I don't know guys, people don't just lose their eyebrows. This was most likely a mistake by the animators. Let's move over to episode number 2, which has tons of mistakes. Next up is Doing Time, a classic. This episode's from season 3, and as you guys know, Mrs. Puff has been dealing with SpongeBob's BS for a very long time, and he just cannot drive. Mrs. Puff has tried everything, and in this episode, she snaps. She decides that it would be much better to go to jail than have to sit around and deal with SpongeBob. Pretty good episode. Here's some clips.
No more road rage, no more SpongeBob, no more insurance payments, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob!
Personally, I wouldn't choose jail over dealing with a stupid sponge, but hey, Mrs. Puff, you do you. Let's get into these mistakes, guys. This episode has 2. Here's the first one.
Hey, seniors, let's open these windows so the world can see your nice white clothes.
So this character right here is Incidental 6, alright? It's a background character who has appeared in many different SpongeBob episodes before. Now, normally Incidental 6 has a male voice. Here's some clips of him talking with a male voice.
Can I help you? Yeah, I'm ready to order. What do you have?
For some reason in Doing Time, they just switched it up. It isn't that big of a deal since it's just one episode, but yeah, throughout this whole episode, he has a female voice. Very interesting mistake on their end, but let's keep the video moving, guys. Season 5's Krabs a la mode is another interesting episode. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst, but I do like Plankton's scheme in this episode. Instead of explaining it, I'll let these clips show you what he does. It's very interesting.
That's right. Run, Krabs, for I have found your Achilles heel. I'll freeze you out of business, and I'll do it with your precious thermostat.
Plankton quite literally turned the Krusty Krab into a winter wonderland. At one point, people are literally ice skating around the Krusty Krab, which looks kind of fun, but I don't think that's the place to be doing that. This episode, as I said though, has some mistakes. Here's the first one.
Turn the heat up.
The temperature stays at 62 degrees.
So as you guys seen, a big plot point in this episode is Plankton changing the thermostat of the Krusty Krab. That's how it gets all icy in there. But as you've seen in the clips, he changes the temperature of the thermostat again, but how would he have done this? Because the thermostat freezes, so I don't think it'd be working very well. So yeah, another mistake here, and here's mistake number 2. So speaking of frozen objects, as you guys can see, there is one shot where the cash register is frozen, but then throughout the rest of the episode and every other scene, the cash register is no longer frozen. So a bit of a continuity error. I'll admit the mistakes in this episode are not so bad, but just wait, things are about to get wild. Next up is As Seen on TV. Now, this episode is about the Krusty Krab's first ever commercial, and SpongeBob over here thinks he's famous because he gets like a 2-second cameo in the commercial that airs on TV. It's really funny. SpongeBob gets a massive ego in the episode. It's hilarious. Here are some clips.
And who am I making this bad boy out to?
To my tail fin. I'll get it myself.
F-I-N. There we are, darling.
I gotta say, it's really weird seeing SpongeBob act like this. He's normally such a wholesome character, and he doesn't really care about attention that much. When in this episode, he thinks he's the star of the show. It's really funny the way he interacts with other characters. But what isn't so funny are the mistakes in this episode, and there's three mistakes in one episode. Here's the first one.
Squidward, this crowd is insatiable.
Then why don't you get back in the kitchen and grab some patties and give them what they came here for?
This first one is pretty bad, but I gotta say, you need the eyes of a hawk to be able to actually catch it. So at one point, SpongeBob lifts up his shirt collar, but if you look at the back, right by his fingers, it's like the smallest spot. I'm gonna zoom in on it so you guys can see. They didn't draw the back of his collar. Right there by his fingers, we should be able to see the back of his shirt, but I guess they just forgot to draw it. And now that I've shown you, you know it looks kind of weird. Not as weird as mistake number 2 though, this one's really bad.
We want patties! Well, the most I can juggle is 3, but the show must go on. Whoa!
Okay, so look during this scene. When the crowd says, "We want patties," Incidental 46's waist is purple. Throughout the episode, it looks like this, right? This is how it's supposed to look, but in this one shot, for some reason, it's purple. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we still got one more mistake in this episode. Here's mistake number 3.
A second Krusty Krab?
Mr. Krabs, everyone needs an understudy. This is just great. Now we've got no crew to make the commercial.
So early on in the episode, as you guys can see, there is a second Krusty Krab. But here's the problem. It's actually only shown when Mr. Krabs mentions it. In any other shot where you would be able to see it, it's just not there. Like in some of these shots, it should be right there. Here's a shot of it being there.
A second Krusty Krab?
Sandy, I gotta show you this. Pick a card, any card. Wow! Sandy, where's your head?
Our next episode is from Modern SpongeBob, season 12 to be exact, and it's One Trick Sponge. This episode's alright. It's pretty much about SpongeBob learning a new magic trick. Not the best episode in my opinion, so let's move right into the good stuff. Well, the not so good stuff. That being the mistakes. This episode has one. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Ooh, gotta go, SpongeBob. I'm washing my thighs tonight.
This one is pretty complicated, so I need you guys to pay close attention, alright? So, when SpongeBob goes to Fred's house right here, Fred is the dude who's always like, "My leg!"
My leg!
Yeah, that guy. When SpongeBob goes to his house, the direction he moves would mean that Fred's house is opposite from Mr. Krabs and Pearl's house, as you can see right here. Remember this, based on this shot, it would mean that Fred's house is like opposite to Mr. Krabs. You gotta remember this. However, in a later shot, Mr. Krabs' house is nowhere to be seen and is replaced with a kelp forest. So I don't know what happened here. The animators at first drew it as if Fred's house is right across from Mr. Krabs, but then they forgot and were lazy and then just drew a kelp forest instead. Not that big of a deal because it's a cartoon, but this is still a weird mistake. Some continuity errors, but let's keep it moving and head over to our next episode. This one is crazy, guys. Stay tuned.
It's all about you, girl, on your 16th birthday. Pay attention to you, girl.
The episode Whale of a Birthday is filled to the brim when it comes to mistakes. Like, there are so many mistakes in this episode. For now, we're gonna focus on these 3 spicy ones. Here are some clips. Let's see if you guys can catch them.
Pearl, come here. This is so coral.
So this is another somewhat complicated one, but once I point it out, it'll make total sense to you guys, right? When Pearl and her friends are at the mall, as you can see here, she looks at the sea pony. I kinda want a sea pony, guys, that'd be kinda cool. But more importantly, in the first shot, it shows the dogfish tank right next to it, with a clear separation of the 2 tanks, okay? Remember this. On one side, there is a sea pony, right, in one tank, and then on the other side, there's the dogfish. And there's this thing right here, which clearly divides them and separates them into 2 different tanks. But a few seconds later, and now the sea pony shares a tank with the dogfish. They're just in one tank. Like, the entire art of this one spot looks completely different now, which was like a really lame mistake on the animators' end. Like, I don't even know how they made this mistake. It's very easy to miss, but let's keep it moving. Mistake number 2 is just as spicy. Roll the footage.
Oh my gosh, it's Billy Fishkin. Hi, Billy.
Now this one isn't too big of a deal, it's still like a bad mistake. I can understand how the animators slipped up on it. But when Pearl and her friends meet Billy over here, when facing in the front, her lipstick disappears for an entire frame. It's only for like 1 frame and then it pops back in. Like, you'll only catch it by the footage being in slow motion. But I mean, it still happens. A little bit of a mistake here, not that big of a deal. Let's move over to the next mistake, which is a pretty big deal. Roll the footage.
Uh-oh. Everybody brace for impact!
I have no idea how this mistake happened, but first of all, here's a clip of the inside of the Krusty Krab. And as you can see, the tables look like this. This is like the normal table design of the Krusty Krab. It's looked like this ever since Help Wanted, the first ever episode of SpongeBob. But the animators were tweaking in this episode because when Pearl runs into the Patreons of the Krusty Krab crying in this one scene, the tables are like plain beige. They're just like this random different coloring design instead of their normal designs. Normally they look like this, but in this one shot, I don't know what they were doing this episode, what was going on at the SpongeBob animation offices, but that's not how the Krusty Krab tables look. So yeah, a big mistake here. And let's keep it moving, guys. Let's head over to the next episode. Let's go, let's keep this going.
Bag me. Okay, sit.
Up next is a sneaky mistake in the episode Pat the Dog. Roll the footage.
Shall we try roll over? Patrick!
So I already know that this one needs some explaining because it's just a very subtle and complicated error. But when SpongeBob says, "Patrick, wait," if you look closely, his right thumb and arm are only partially outlined, and they kind of look a little neon green. Forget about the neon green part though. If you look very closely, you can see half of his arm is outlined, and then the other half where his thumb and the inside of his arm are, they just weren't outlined. It's a very simple mistake. The animators, I don't know what they were doing, but this is a mistake, guys, and we've got more. Let's keep the video going. Next up, we have the episode, The Krusty Bucket. This episode has quite the elaborate plot. Here are some clips summarizing what happens in this episode. It'll help make the mistake make a ton more sense.
You married a genius, Karen. Using the DNA from Krabs' hair and my own DNA, I will create a combo clone of me and Krabs to finally steal the secret formula. Behold, Plank Crab! Now here's my plan.
Don't waste your breath, Plankerin. I already mapped out the perfect plot to swipe that formula. Oh, nothing mucher, just stealing the formula.
What?
Taking over this restaurant.
But how?
All it took me, Hardy, was a hearty handshake.
Your handshake is exquisite. I'd believe anything you say.
I'll also be commandeering the Chum bucket from now on.
This Krabby Patty tastes even better than usual.
Well, it's the same old patty, except now each one has a pinch of chum added.
So, you two scallywags want to work for me, eh?
I want to be the manager.
Just so happens, I'm looking for 2 new managers to manage me toilets.
He did it! He did it! No, he did it! No, he did it! No, he did it!
What are you saying with Plankton?
Why are you siding with Krab? They're arguing!
And spitting out!
I'm hating myself because I'm torn!
Plankton gets into some wacky science in this episode. Like, he made a clone, fusing himself with his arch nemesis, his biggest enemy ever, Mr. Krabs. What a crazy episode. But you know what's even more crazy? You guessed it, the mistake in this episode, guys. Roll the footage, let's see if you guys can spot it.
I'm hating myself because I'm torn!
This is yet another complicated mistake. I mean, it's not that complicated, but you gotta listen closely or else you'll be like, what are you talking about, Cartoon Corey? But anyways, so when Plank Crab, which is like the hybrid clone of Plankton and Mr. Krabs, is splitting up, both red and green Plank Crab have red hands, okay? You can see it right here. I'm zooming in on it. Both red and green Plank Crab have red hands. But after successfully splitting, red Plank Crab has green hands now. So like I said in this shot, dude has red hands, but now he has green hands, which is a bit of an animation mix-up here. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but it's a mistake, that is for sure. Dude, whenever we get to talk about anything from SpongeBob season 1, 2, or 3, you know your boy is gonna be a very happy man. So, I'm very happy about this next mistake that can be found in the episode Idiot Box. Here are some clips from this hilarious classic episode. This episode is so good.
See anything yet, Patrick?
I need my glasses.
See, I told you, this episode is amazing, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen this episode before because it is so iconic. I mean, imagination, right?
Imagination.
Like, that is such an iconic meme, and that meme actually has a mistake in it, guys. Here's a clip of that iconic scene.
You've just set sail on the SS Imagination.
So here's the mistake. This is how a real rainbow looks. Like, here's some actual footage of a real life rainbow. And as you can see, this is how the colors look. Well, you probably can guess the mistake now, because in Idiot Box, whenever SpongeBob makes a rainbow with his hands, the colors are actually upside down from what an actual rainbow would be. So a bit of a mistake here, not that big of a deal. I mean, who cares? But I thought I'd share it with you guys. But let's keep the video moving and head over to another mistake that's even crazier in another episode. Next up is the episode Growth Spurt, which is all about Pearl becoming very big. I don't know, I guess she just eats, and Pearl, she goes through a massive growth spurt and becomes huge. Like, I really feel bad for Mr. Krabs in this episode because Pearl already eats a lot, but damn, son, damn, here's some clips.
What's that green stuff in your pocket?
Where?
There!
Me money?
I'll just have to eat this.
Pearl is wildin' in this episode. Like, as you guys heard, at one point, she literally threatens to eat Mr. Krabs' money. Like, this girl is so hungry, she would have eaten his money. But anyways, let's get into the mistake in this episode. It's really bad. Keep those eyes peeled.
Sounded like my beloved teenage daughter, Pearl! I'm coming, princess!
So heading back to the beginning of the episode, we see numerous parts of Pearl's body grow. For example, her fin, we see it blast through the mirror in the washroom, which is crazy, and her feet grow. But here's the issue. This changes as the episode progresses. For example, her fin, it gets massive and blasts through the mirror, but then when Mr. Krabs goes into the next room, her fin's like the normal size again. It isn't as big as it was a moment ago, so that's one continuity error. But also, her feet grow, right? As we can see in this shot, but then when she's at the Krusty Krab, she's seen wearing her regular boots. So like, I don't know what's going on here. I guess the animators forgot about these limbs blowing up and becoming so big and made a little bit of a mistake here. But let's move over to another episode that has some even more interesting mistakes, because I'll admit these ones were kind of weak, but these next mistakes are crazy.
Witness the beauty! Come on, Larry, get your art on!
My eyes!
Up next is the episode Out of the Picture from season 10, a nice HD episode for you guys. I mean, look at how nice the footage looks. This episode is pretty interesting. Pretty much, Mr. Krabs realizes that Squidward's art, all of his lame art that he makes, I think it's actually kind of nice. Everybody else thinks it's lame, but Mr. Krabs realizes that if Squidward dies, that his art will be worth more money and he can sell it. Yeah, Mr. Krabs, you are a terrible boss, dude. Like, you're an awful boss, man. But anyways, here's some clips from the episode.
Got a delivery for you, Mr. Squidward.
I've got a delivery from the Krusty Krab. Delivery from the Krusty Krab.
Man, Mr. Krabs sends Squidward on quite the adventure in this episode. This dude goes everywhere, including good old-fashioned Rock Bottom. I love this place. It's actually a reference to seasons 1, 2, and 3, back to the episode literally Rock Bottom. I love Rock Bottom, and I love old school SpongeBob. But anyways, let's get into the mistake for this episode, as it has to do with Rock Bottom.
Stop! Rock Bottom!
Alright, so watch closely. When Squidward first arrives in Rock Bottom, the bus station is missing. And here's even a piece of footage from the original Rock Bottom episode. Here's the bus station. But when Squidward first arrives, the animators must have just forgotten about this and they straight up did not draw the bus station, making for a continuity error here. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right now, because if you comment, I'll respond. I respond to the comments of all of my subscribers. So if you are subscribed and you comment, I'll respond. It's that simple. Literally right now, if you subscribe, I'll see that you're subscribed in YouTube Studio to confirm it, and then I'll respond to your comment. It's that simple, guys. So I love you guys. I'm Cartoon Corey. I'm going to be live streaming soon, so hit that bell. That way you get a notification when I go live. You never want to miss it. Expect in the next coming weeks to see more Easter egg videos, deadly moment videos, and hey, even let me know in the comments other types of SpongeBob videos you want us to do, because I'd love to do them.
Money, oh money, how I love thee. Cha-ching, cha-chong, cha-changaroo. From pennies to dollars, any amount will do.
I'm going to make this one very, very quick. Roll the footage. Here's the mistake in the episode, selling out.
See that? Without all your smoke and mirrors, no one would stomach this garbage.
What'd he say? Garbage?
Okay, so this character right here is Incidental 42, and in every episode before this one, this character always has a male voice, okay? A male voice. Here are some examples.
No food.
3 days.
As you heard, this dude, it sounds like a dude, right? But in the episode Selling Out, Incidental 42 has a female voice when he says, "What did he say? Garbage?" Really strange mistake, but let's keep it rolling, baby. Let's keep this show going.
I'll take another one, this time with less manager.
One really good episode from season 13 is Goofy Scoopers. I mean, anything Goofy Goobers related, I love. But like any episode, this episode has a mistake. Here's the mistake. Let's see if you can catch it.
Let's rock!
It also takes place closer to the ending of the episode, but during this close-up of Clam Clam playing the trumpet, that man is playing the heck out of that trumpet, take a look at his shirt, as the stripes on his shirt switch colors at the end. First it looks like this, but then they just switch colors, which is really strange. But let's keep it moving, gang. We've got more mistakes than this, and they're spicy.
I mean, positive.
Too sick, eh?
Okay, so our next mistake can be found in another season 13 episode, Squidward's Sick Days. And this one is really funny because when you really think about it, it's actually like a hilarious mistake. Here are the clips, roll the footage.
I can't believe I'm dreaming about work when there's so many more interesting things I could be doing. Just look at my unfinished painting and my uneaten strudel.
So this delicious looking strudel right here, guys, I want a bite of this. Do you want a bite of it? Leave a comment. Would you eat this strudel? I want some of it. But yeah, the strudel, okay? As you can see, there is steam coming off of it, so it's hot. Right? Like they're really animating this strudel as if it's hot. It's steaming hot. But here's the problem. Squidward had just woken up, right? Like he just woke up during the scene. And we know that he made the strudel the day before, yesterday, right? He made it and then put it out by the window so it would cool the previous day. So how is it hot still? He made the strudel yesterday and he just woke up. The dude didn't just wake up and the strudel was still hot. So this is just a really silly mistake. I hope you guys get what I'm saying for it, because this is a bad one. But anyways, during that same scene, there's actually another mistake. I'm gonna roll the clip again really quickly. Did you spot it?
And my uneaten strudel. My strudel!
Yeah, so when Patrick bites into that delicious strudel that is somehow still hot, even though it's a day old, Patrick's eyebrows disappear for a split second. It literally only happens for a second as he's eating the pastry, but yeah, talk about two mistakes in one scene, guys. And I have one more mistake from this episode, one more.
In my imagination, you're a helpless little baby. Gee, you're sicker than I thought.
So take a look at this painting right here, okay? As you can see in the painting, SpongeBob is holding a baby Squidward. Aw, Squidward, you're such a cute baby. Now, as you can see, SpongeBob's arm on the left from our viewing perspective is yellow, right here. But take a look at his other arm in the picture, as it's green. The animator's messed up. His arm's supposed to be yellow, but his arm's the same color as Squidward. Dude, what? This is a really bad one, guys. Look at how awkward that looks, but let's keep it moving and head over to another episode. I love this next episode, Enemy-in-Law, just because the plot is so funny. Plankton falls in love with Betsy Krabs, Mr. Krabs' mom. Imagine having like a mortal enemy and falling in love with their mama. Their mama. Plankton, you're crazy. Anyways though, here are some clips summarizing this episode. It's really funny.
Why did I ever buy that computer wife? I need a real woman. Such beauty. She's an angel and no wires. I don't even know her name, and yet she's stolen my heart.
You've fallen in love with another woman?
Roses television has nothing on you.
Am I really that pretty?
Just dial the number and ask her to dinner. Come on, you can do this. It's your secret admirer.
Oh, you're that giant robot.
No, I programmed the robot. I've admired you from afar for too long, my angel. We must meet face to face.
How about the Krusty Krab? Tonight at 8?
Sounds wonderful.
Me new boyfriend bought me this hat.
Boyfriend? Someone to spend time with you? That's wonderful! What's his name?
I don't know. I'm meeting him here tonight.
Wonderful! I'll stay open late so you can have a nice romantic dinner. Now run along.
I must say you look ravishing tonight.
Oh my, you're a tiny thing, but awfully cute. Tell me about yourself.
I'm the founder and owner of the Chum Bucket.
Never heard of it.
It's across the street.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Like the crabs!
Eugene!
Mommy?
Mommy? This delectable creature is your mother?
This no-good conniving chiseler is your date?
And this devilishly handsome sponge is your waiter.
Eugene! You put me boyfriend down this instant!
Boyfriend?
But, Mommy!
You heard the lady. Let me go.
Stay away from me, Mother! I know what you're really up to.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Krabby Patty formula!
Your mother knows the Krabby Patty formula?
It's an old Krabs family recipe, and you're not family.
Not family, eh? Well, I can fix that.
This episode is full of mistakes. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna play some clips, and the mistake's gonna be in there. Hopefully you guys can spot it.
And all it took was the love of a beautiful woman.
Well, you love is thieving and conniving. Now stop trying to get the formula out of me, Mother!
First things first, take a look at this scene where Mr. Krabs barges into the Chum Bucket in anger, as some scenes show these red pipes on the wall, but then some scenes where we get the same shots are missing the red pipes. So in some shots there's red pipes, some shots there aren't. I don't know what the plumbing situation is in the Chum Bucket, but they need to get that sorted. And that's not it.
It's across the street. It's on the back of the phone book. Come on, I paid a lot of money for that ad.
As when Plankton walks into the Krusty Krab with a rose during this scene, as you can see right here, there is a burger sticker on the window. Now I'm hungry. I really want to go and get myself a McDouble. But the problem is, once Plankton's actually inside the store, there is now no stickers at all. This then happens again when Mr. Krabs walks in. You can see the sticker, the burger sticker, but then from the inside, it's gone.
Mobile. It comes with pocket protectors, corrective lens windshield, and seat wedgies.
This next mistake is an interesting one and can be found in the episode Drive Happy. Roll the footage.
I want to be inside.
Like inside? All right, Coop, come on in.
Did you catch the mistake? Well, whoever wrote this episode, or I guess animated it, needs to go back and educate themselves on the world of SpongeBob, most notably Conch Street. As in this shot, as you can see right here, SpongeBob's iconic pineapple home has a garage in the back of it, alright? You know, a garage where you'd park a car. But here's the issue. At one point in Drive Happy, SpongeBob saws a hole at the front of his house so that Coop, his car, can enter and seek shelter. This was completely unnecessary, SpongeBob, because you know, you have a garage. So like, why would you do that? Well, it's not SpongeBob's fault, it's the animator's fault. They forgot about this garage, as you can see in this shot, and then made SpongeBob do this in this episode. What a weird mistake. This one's so weird that I just want to move on from it to our next episode. Let's keep it going.
Don't feed the clowns!
This next mistake happens very fast. It can be found in the episode Don't Feed the Clowns, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Keep those eyes peeled! So during these business building scenes, we see the character R.A. Pennypincher a bunch of times. He's just there within the business building. But during this one scene, the animators must have been feeling lazy or something. I don't know what was going on, as Pennypincher is replaced with another incidental 41 in this one shot. It's kind of weird. I know this might not seem like that big of a mistake, but it is a mistake, so it's very strange. Let's keep it moving though and head over to another episode. This one, guys, be prepared. It's gonna be a wild mistake. Next up is the episode Food PBFFT Truck, a really good episode from season 13. This is one of my favorites. Here are some hilarious clips from the episode.
Why were you waving at us?
I wasn't waving at you. I was drying out my armpits.
Okay, it's time for the mistakes. It's mistake time. It's what you guys clicked on this video for.
Restaurant is packed to the gills with customers.
During this one scene, take a look at this character, Incidental 45. Well, during this one shot, the animators messed up and drew Incidental 45 2 times. They duplicated him. He's right here at the dining table with Incidental 42, but then there's another one waiting in order to get money to Squidward. Now look, incidental duplications did happen a lot in earlier seasons of the show, like season 1, 2, or 3. It makes sense, but in modern SpongeBob, this never happens and is totally a mistake. And guys, there's more. There's one more mistake I want to show you guys today. Keep those eyes peeled.
Where is everybody?
So as you just saw, when SpongeBob and Squidward are driving around in Rock Bottom, which is so cool by the way, seeing Rock Bottom again, I love this place. But yeah, they're driving around and they pass this question mark store once, right? But the animators must have forgot about this and reused the background or something, as they end up passing the store twice, which wouldn't have been possible. They passed it once. So yeah, another mistake